It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner Funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
So where's the office, back at Division? Yeah, in the office, baby. Going up.
Indeed you are. The Rothman and Ice office. One guy out, another guy in. Scraped the bottom of the barrel, went for the bargain basement, and I walked over to the cubicles, and I said, Adam King, what are you doing today? Doing some TV today. No, you aren't. You're doing radio for about 3 hours. You're doing a walkthrough for TV. That's the easy stuff. Welcome in. Anthony Rothman, Adam King, 10 TV, the man who sits on the porcelain throne, has decided to join us.
Welcome into King and Rothman. We're excited to have a... Oh, sorry. Is that not...
I'm a trifle deaf in my right ear. Speak a little louder.
Mike, too, is cranked up.
That's baby Chet Holmgren. And
Ooh, he does look like Chet Holmgren.
You think? Because Maddie doesn't see it, and we think he's blind.
I see it. Hey,
of course you do.
How long does it take you to get your hair ready in the morning?
Oh, I do not do my hair in the morning. Actually, you know what I did do today? I liked the curls decently enough because I come in here with bedhead a lot. But today, I used the hairspray.
Wow. You think he curls
You know what he's supposed to say when he says that?
What?
That's a great story.
That's a great story, Cole.
Please. Thanks.
Hey, he's also...
It wasn't that long.
He's also the loose cannon.
Ooh.
You never know.
You never know. He's sponsored by Purina today. We're good to see that. You woke up this morning and said, I am going to show dog food some love.
I know exactly which show I'm on. This is a dog-friendly show.
Feels like I lose the leash of the show right out of the gate with Adam King comes in, but I'm happy you're here, my man. We got some stuff to do today. Sorry.
No, I'm excited.
I know all you TV guys think this is like the playroom. We just crack the mics and we'll just talk, and people may or may not listen.
I believe it was Cole who said not 20 minutes ago, just talk about sports. It's the easiest thing in the world. Go out there, turn the on button, and just go.
We got some Jackets talk today now that the season is in the books. There are a few things to identify with them, and I loved what Coach Dean Evison said today. First of all, that is a coach. He came to the podium today as depressed and frustrated as anybody should be. Because what happens is the air got let out of the balloon the second the Canadians won. Last night really had nothing to do with anything except this pseudo finish it the right way, skate through the finish line, let's win for Jet. By the way, wish he got the shutout last night. It's too bad that deflection went in because he probably deserved it. And then it was a tribute to the fans, by the way, sellout. Exhibition game, basically, and they played it all the way to the end. So we get all of that stuff out of the way because that's real. The best part is that he was like, this is a results-based business. We're not in the playoffs. We didn't make it. We didn't do what it took to get there all the way. I go back to the Stadium Series and the highlight. I do think there's a middle ground, and I don't know if he was asked this, Adam, about, you overachieved so beyond what anybody thought. Can you take any solace in that? Like that you proved people wrong. And, he wasn't really asked that specifically, but it's almost to the point where I look at the post-Stadium Series stuff, and people want to say, like, there's a lot of hype. They were exhausted mentally. A lot went into that. Go back and look and see who they played. A 2-seed in Tampa, a 3-seed in Florida, a fighting team in the Rangers, a 1-seed in Vegas, the Rangers team again, a 3-seed in the Devils, Florida again. A lot of that was a little bit of the bad timing of the scheduling gods outside of the postseason or the Stadium Series. They ran into the gauntlet of all gauntlets. And by the way, 4 straight were on the road against those teams I just talked about, Tampa, Florida, the Rangers, and the Devils. And then now coming back home, those eggs should not have been laid because they've been very, very good at home. But Vegas is good. They ran into a good goaltender a couple of times, and they just went on a little bit of a drought. There's a lot to be said for that this was a very special team with an emotion, however, that was uniquely tragic. That can't be duplicated next year. I talked about the Buckeye run that was a very special team. Not every team could have lost that game to Michigan and circled the wagons, lit the fuse, and here we go. It had to take experience, maturity, leadership, fight, all that to be able to do what they did. And I think the Jackets, what they'll get out of this year, Adam, is the confidence they get out of this year, the growth they got out of this year, hopefully the maturity they got out of this year, that's there. That shouldn't go anywhere. But thinking automatically that you can pick this season up and transfer it to next season it's his own thing. The best and the worst thing happened. The best thing happened is that they took us all the way to game 81. The worst thing that happened is they took you all the way to game 81 and didn't get in. And so they don't have the reward for all that work. And I think that's what I heard with Dean today.
I think there are two mindsets here, and they are both correct. One is that sports is inherently an entertainment business. That's its job. And if you are a Jackets fan, you were entertained to the very last buzzer of the season. Do you want to be in the playoff? Yes. You had Jackets fans watching a Carolina game that otherwise would have meant nothing. So you had every day down the stretch of April here, the first half of April, was intriguing to the CBJ, and it lived up to the hype till the very end. And yes, obviously, you would have liked to play that final game, knowing there was some hope. But
win or lose, you got to get to that game because of what it would do to you mentally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then there is another side of this, and it is hard to compartmentalize. But I am of the belief that this season, while magical and special and truly amazing at every step of the way, is also what the future is going to hold. Adam Fantilli scored 30 goals. That's not going anywhere. I mean, do I think he...
Might have been 31, sir.
Might have been 31, but he broke that 30.
Maybe he didn't watch the game last night as a TV guy.
30. You know what? He broke the 30-goal mark, okay? That's what I meant. He and Rick Nash are the only to do that so early in their season, early in their career. When you look at that, when you look at what Krill has brought to this team, it's remarkable.
The thrill that Kirill brought to the team?
The thrill that Kirill...
Do I have to do this TV stuff for you? Do I have to write your scripts for later?
Right the lower third, right there.
All right.
Jet is a household name. They're chanting Jet at Nationwide Arena.
You mean the fuel the Jet provided?
Yes, the fuel the Jet. You're great at this. Did you do television? I think I remember when I was just a wee lad. I was probably 2 years old. I looked up and I saw, there is Anthony Rothman on my television. What a sweet, sweet man. There I was. I had just come out of the womb, and Rothman was on the television at the hospital.
Baby Einstein?
Yeah, exactly. Right. No, so I understand that there are two sides of this. I love what Dean Evison did today.
Yeah.
Because what he did today is he was a coach. And I guarantee you that while these guys are very happy with how the season panned out comparative to what people said, at the end of the day, they want to be in the playoffs. And they don't want to feel this feeling again next year. And it's not about moral victories to this team. They know they are good enough to go to the playoffs. And not only that, compete in the playoffs. But what a year. I mean, listen, from the Stadium Series... What an amazing year.
Because there was zero expectations. In fact, it was the opposite. Yeah. It was, how in the world are they going to do anything this year when they're skating around with heavy hearts and their focus is off? If anything, it galvanized them. If anything, it made them stronger. And they were playing with a lot of pride this year because they were trying to live up to Johnny and make that legacy proud and to see his number hanging in the room every time. Like, there was a lot to live up to. All I'm saying is that doesn't go anywhere. He will always be with them.
Yeah.
But the immediacy of it, that emotion, this was his season. Next year is their season. It's going to be a different vibe. You can't pick it up and transfer it. I've seen this before with other teams, and you try to duplicate it. But that's not to discount that they should have a lot of confidence going into next year and how they attack it. And how, you know what Dean said today that actually was I thought, the best point of today's press conference? While last night's game meant nothing, that's the one you show. Because if you can play that way with nothing really on the line, then that's a pretty good message. Now, that may be something that's not tangible. I don't know. That's only he would know that with his guys. But they came together as a group this year. They added some veteran stuff. They found their way through injuries like every team has to do. And if they can upgrade and tap into the goaltending a little more and play with that freedom when you know a guy's back there that can make the stops he needs to make, then all of a sudden you've got some. They were a top 10 offensive team this year. They were. Most of the time you'd say they probably should get in. But their road record, 14-23-4, is just so counterintuitive to who they were this year. To be 26-10-5 at home is a tribute to that building and those fans. But make no mistake, post-stadium series, they ran into a buzzsaw, and they don't have the true depth that some of those other teams have. And they may not have, they certainly don't have the goaltending that some of those teams that I mentioned have. And so they've got a lot to live up to. They do.
I also think next year you have something that is hard to truly show in a season like this. But now all of these guys in the locker room have really felt it. It's that in the middle of February, when you're on a 3-game losing streak, as Dean Evison, you can walk in that locker room and say, guys, if you don't think this game matters as much as the next one, go back and look last year. You talk about that road record. If they win one more game, it could have been in November, could have been in December, could have been in January. They're in the postseason. That's something that you can tangibly grasp if you're Dean Evison and say to these guys, all it takes is that one extra game.
The details, trying to play the right way all the time. It's not realistic, but it's something you can easily sell. Honestly, it was the post getting whacked by the Avs 7-3. Yeah. The Elvis snapping of the stick, possibly pulling himself in a way, like waving the white flag, and then having to go to Toronto and Ottawa and not scoring a goal. I'll give them a lot of credit for this. They came back home knowing they had to win 6 in a row. At least they thought that, and they did it.
They did it.
Now, you could mention it was part of it was the schedule, which was beneficial at the time. Post-Ovi exhaustion. You didn't have Ovechkin coming here going for the record. You had Buffalo, who's playing well, but they're not anything to get that scared of. Philly on the road, you knew who they were going through their coaching change, and then the Islanders not being an offensive juggernaut last night and not playing Sorokin. So it kind of set up that way. But you're exactly right. They, in their minds, the frustration comes from we may have been 2-3 shifts away from being a playoff team. That's what you can sell.
Overtime against the Panthers on March 20th.
You can go back.
New Jersey, you lose by 1 goal on the 17th. But I will say, if you told this team on Friday, March 21st, walking off that loss to Pittsburgh, this is where they'd be, they did everything right down the stretch, and you have to be proud, and you have to think, what an amazing season.
We'll come back and we'll hit on something because he did address the goaltending. Yeah. And I think it's definitely the number one story in the offseason for the Jackets. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if erectile dysfunction is making a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner, you should call us, because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Tri-State Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you. Which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654. Or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Hey, it's Anthony. Of course, I sit and do the show 3 hours a day. But after that, I'm looking to get things done, enjoy the spring weather. So I want to be on my feet a lot, playing golf, working out, just moving around. I was introduced to the Good Feet store because my feet were aching way too often. And what I found there is a 3-step custom arch support system that has me feeling awesome. My personally fit arch supports have helped realign my feet, reposition my body into a more ideal position, and not only that, strengthen my feet to help support me. It's made all the difference in how I feel every day. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And when you wear them as a system, Their arch supports are more effective at long-term pain reduction and elimination. So go in, take the free test walk. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Their products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City, or at goodfeet.com.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get your mulch ready for the season. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Whether it's mulch, soil, or even stone, we've got your yard covered. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your garden with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, greener, greener, better.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand. Listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Are you in need of basic dental treatment but can't afford the cost? There may be a solution. Hi, I'm Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, and I'm excited to tell you about a program called Dental Options. Dental Options is a partnership between the Ohio Dental Association and the Ohio Department of Health in which qualifying patients can be paired with a dentist to receive discounted or even free dental care. Eligibility for the program is based on your financial situation. For more information or to apply, call 1-888-765-6789.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at a great afternoon, so make sure you get out and enjoy it. We'll be in the low 80s, but a little bit windy, so keep that in mind. More sunshine as well. We'll see temperatures tonight, mid-60s, pretty dry through the overnight until we get to early Saturday. That's when showers and storms return. A few could be strong, mid-70s. Lingering rain Easter, but there will be dry time as well. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony can follow direction very well, as long as he first prints out MapQuest. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
That's right. Once you print it out, can't change. Stay the course.
What happens if there's a road closed that MapQuest didn't get? You got to go back home, right? Start over.
I don't believe any of that stuff, any of the ways and all that. Because people can chime in on it.
Yeah. Do you just walk outside and just kind of smell to see which direction you need to drive home?
Yeah. Finger goes in the air, which way the wind's going,
East.
all that. Wind sock. Elvis has hit the podium, and weren't we all curious what's going on with him? Like the last time we saw, by the way, in a playoff push, he's your number one goalie, and he says he was concussed. I don't know which. I'm assuming in the last game he played.
I Googled Elvis puck to the head, and nothing came up. He said he took pucks to the head.
Practice?
You talking about practice?
Somebody could crack him in practice?
Practice?
Because last time we saw him against Ottawa on April 8th, so the Flyer game still mattered, and that was a week later. Now, the difference is Greaves was playing great, so you're riding the hot hand there. And this is not, I'm not trying to play doctor with Elvis. I'm not. I just think there's still a lot of questions surrounding him. And while I do think he made improvements this year in how he acted, how he played, what he said, how he played, Don Waddell said he won more games for us than he lost. you've got to at least not deny that they have a goaltending conundrum. The guy, this young kid in Jet Greaves, small sample, but not just a small sample, in the pressure cooker of a playoff push, just was lights out. Now, I'm going to admit the schedule wasn't as difficult. I mean, the only goal he gave up in that run, and the last little run, was to Ovi, and then the deflection last night, late in the game. But here's the issue. And I read all the comments. When Don Waddell was talking, I was looking at the comments. Dump Elvis, dump Elvis, dump Elvis, dump Elvis. It's not that easy financially. Waddell was asked about buyouts. Not considering it this time. If you force this and you spread out his money, it's a massive hit against this team. Don Waddell is trying to do two things here. Acknowledge the success of this year, knowing the bar next year is playoffs or bust, without also thinking we have to build it the right way. I'm wondering if Jacket fan, if this season fast forwarded the patience, because they are doing some good things here. He's got to figure the goalie thing out. He's got 2 more years with Elvis. You probably ride out another year. This probably isn't the buyout time. And then you see if he comes back, competes with Jet, who's better. Now, if Jet's better, and then you have the ability to kind of have Elvis watch the kid take his job, and then we'll see how he handles that. Okay, that may be just part of professional sports. But I don't think this whole snap your fingers, hand Elvis all of that money to go away and pay him not to play for you is the way Don Waddell's going to work this thing.
I think it reminds me of what happened in Kansas City for the Chiefs, what happened in New England for the Patriots. Drew Bledsoe goes out with injury. There's Tom Brady. Alex Smith goes out with injury, and welcome to Patrick Mahomes. I just think that Jet Greaves, you have to let him prove that he's not the guy now. You have to allow him to go out there and play next season. Do I think that Elvis would be a great backup? For sure. But I don't think that Elvis considers himself an NHL backup. So you talk about
he's not getting paid like one.
He's not.
That's the difference.
And so you have to wonder, is there any team out there that has any interest in Elvis? And I don't think that's probable.
Well, not right this moment.
No.
It's almost like you have to take someone else's direct.
Yes.
And you have to eat some things.
Yes.
You can't just say, here's our goaltender. Do you want him?
What if you buy some of Elvis's contract? What if you take a little bit off their hands without paying all that money for the buyout, and you find a team that's looking for that?
No, you can do that. I got no real problem with that if they feel financially that's the way to go. But you're going to have to take on some bad stuff if you're going to get rid of him. And Don may not be willing to do that right now. Maybe you do just ride this out for one more season and let it play out. I'm not telling you that Jet's better than Elvis. He has been lately. Clearly, he's been awesome. But they have to be able to identify whether this was lightning in a bottle. You can look at his catch glove. It's amazing. The guy's an outfielder playing goalie. Like, he's been that good. But he's not massive. And let's see him play a long stretch and see where his save percentage is. You're right. There's no denying he's been the story of the year the last several games. He really has.
Don't you have to let him fail then?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you cannot.
But let him fail beating Elvis out, not just inheriting it because you're buying Elvis out.
But see, I don't believe that. I think if you allow another offseason, I think Elvis ends up in goal because Elvis is the more experienced guy. He's been through this. He knows what he's doing. And I
don't know. One guy's got a 938 save percentage. The other guy has an 892.
Practice is one thing. Yeah. Games are a different thing. If you put Jet, I'll tell you this. Jet brings an energy to this organization at goal that they haven't had in a long time. I like Elvis. I think Elvis is a great guy. He's done a lot for Columbus. But I just think at some point you have to take a look and say maybe it's time to move on.
No, I'm with you. I'm just wanted to bring up the fact that
I'm not with
they're
you.
Not.
Okay?
They're not.
I'm with Cole.
they're not in a position right now to feel like that they have to just cut cord with Elvis just because they feel like they found the savior in goal. They might have it, but it's not the worst thing in the world to let it play out.
I just feel like
and then buy him out after next year.
Every offseason, over and over again with Elvis.
But his contract is dictating how you have to deal with him.
This is professional sports. We can figure out his contract. We can. I'll pay $5. You pay $5.
Channel 10 has wanted to buy you out for 3 years.
You know what?
And they just said financially, he's such a bargain that we should let him work here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They said with cause, he didn't do his hair today. We're getting him out of here. Cole pays $5. You pay $5. Fish pays $10. Everybody's happy. We all pay for Elvis.
That's right.
It's a subscription-based thing, you know? We do it with everything else.
I believe they call that crowdsourcing.
Crowdsourcing.
Tell you what, when I called Boone Jenner at 102 today, you can ask him, hey, if you were in that room, you want to cut cord on Elvis?
I'll ask him that. That'll go over very well.
I think that'd be...
I think Todd Chirac will be the first one.
You're the captain. You should have a say in this, right?
Hey, Cap.
I'm just telling everybody that this season, while it was so good because it overachieved and it was so special and emotional because of the tragedy, and you fell in love with these guys and you saw how hard they worked and the new faces in different places and how it all kind of clicked, and what you said about the guys that they've handpicked and how they've done statistically this year. Zach becomes a massive leader in that room, and the stats go along with it. Kirill, as you mentioned, KJ with the 24 goals. Monahan, just everything you needed out of him.
Everything.
Fans with 31. Voronkov makes a step, and Cole bounces back. Olivier becomes this all-around player in front of your eyes. Fabro digs in with Z.
Did you mention
a pretty good pairing.
becoming one of the best defensemen in the league? Did you mention that, myth?
I did right off the bat, but I don't know if he's going to win the Norris, but he certainly should be highly considered. Oh, yeah. So you fell in love with this team. That core and everything gets lifted to the next year, and what they have now is the expectation that this is who they are. Not a one-year wonder. This is who you are, and now they have that to live up to, is my point. And that the emotion of Johnny, while it will always be there, it won't be this intense. It won't be as attached to next season as it was this season.
Well, I did like that Dean said that his locker will be there for as long as Dean is there. So they're going to keep that tradition going, and I think they'll keep a lot of traditions going. But I do agree with you. I mean, this year, it felt like one that will never be forgotten in the history of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
And here's the other thing that you don't know and I don't know. If Jet Greaves is asked to play 60 games, what is he? Over that haul. Not 60. That's what they don't know yet.
So the only way to find out, Rothman.
I'm all good with that. I'm just saying you don't have to send Elvis away to find that out.
I think if Elvis is willing to, but I think you nailed it in the beginning. If Elvis is willing to take a backup role, he's probably one of the best backups in the NHL.
Well, I think that would be fast-tracking him out of here.
But if
which
you get
is what everybody seems to want anyway.
If you get one more season of him.
Then you buy him out after that.
Exactly.
Year. That's what I'm saying. You got to consider that stuff.
Yeah.
It can't just be.
Listen, I get it.
If the fan wants to pay me to go
That's
away.
What I was going to. I didn't want to interrupt you.
I'm willing to have that conversation.
I think Fish has the paperwork on his desk right now. He showed it to me last night.
Well, he needs to sharpen his pencil a little bit. By the way, wild story going on with a former Jacket. And I don't know if he'll ever have to defend his character. It seems like it's kind of sealed, but we'll talk about it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text Kettle to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text KETTLE to 321-321. That's Kettle to 321-321.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up, knuckleheads? You're listening to Rothman and Ice on The Fan. It's not terrible.
All right, back at it. Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Adam King in today. Baby Chet at the switches. This is the number one offseason question. They put Elvis in front of a podium today. Like, this is a very, very interesting situation. He was jumped at the end of the year. I know you said that he's reporting that he was concussed, so wasn't available anyway.
Said he got hit in the head with pucks.
When, how, I don't know. Jet grabs this team by the you-know-what and defends and carries them in a way in a very pivotal part. And what I think is going on here is that this special season has launched this fan base into anything is possible as long as you get in. I don't know if that's true. This team, while they were very good, didn't have the depth. Now, could they overhaul this overnight defensively and goaltending and all that? They could try to do that. You don't know if that's going to work. And financially, I think Don Waddell wants to build this the right way. Patience is the worst thing you can tell a fan base. It's hard, especially off a year. Like, the only time you can sell it to them or soft sell it is when things are good. But that's counterintuitive because when things are really good, why are we being patient? Aren't we taking the next level, the step? And then when things are bad and you're preaching patience, they don't want to hear that either. But Don just got here. Dean just got here. They caught a little lightning in a bottle this year for a lot of reasons. And a lot of them are tangible reasons. Do they have a goaltending issue? Absolutely. They got a high-priced guy who may not be a true number one in a lot of ways. But just cutting the cord on him financially is not going to be that easy. You said find a bottom feeder that'll take him. All right, find a bottom feeder that'll take him. You eat a lot of his salary, you take on some of their garbage contracts, and you got rid of a guy. Okay, that means you're all in. Now, can you get a veteran with Jet and away you go and pair them and see if it works? Certainly. And whatever you get, you hope you get better than 896 out of the new guy, or 892. But I'm just saying that if I heard Don correctly today, Elvis will probably be on this roster to start next season. I know people are saying, hand him a check, buy him out, get him out. He's no good. Like, I think that's a little bit of hyperbole, but it's also kind of a reality that he didn't perform like a true number one. And if you had a true number one, you'd probably be in the playoffs. I think that's what the fans think, and I believe that myself. I'm just saying, I'm just bringing back a little bit of reality that all of a sudden everyone thinks next year is the window to advance throughout the playoffs, and it may not be.
Okay, a couple things here. One, we have decided here that Anthony Rothman will not be giving the locker room speeches before the Blue Jackets in the playoff next year.
I don't know. I mean, they might want a realist.
Just to be clear, guys, they say anything can happen if anybody gets in. I don't think that's true.
I've always said one thing for this town.
Sure, this city isn't perfect. We need a smut-free life for all of our citizens. Cleaner streets, better schools, a good hockey team.
Those are the boxes I check.
And listen, we had a good hockey team this year. Right. We were this close to a great hockey team. One point short.
You're probably not into having the smut-free life for all the citizens, but the other stuff you're okay with.
Well, that's Cole's thing.
Yeah.
What did you call him, baby Chet Holmgren?
Yeah, or the loose cannon.
The loose cannon. I will say this. I don't think that Elvis Merzlikins will be on this team.
Well, it's Merzlikins. Everyone wants to add that last N, and I don't know why.
All right. Elvis Merzlikins will be on this team by the end of the season.
You mean he's the weak Lincolns?
He's the weak Lincolns.
Trying to say.
Put it in the lower third.
Yeah.
I think that by the trade deadline next year, he will no longer be on the team. I think you get halfway through the season, see, like you said, maybe you play it out. Maybe you see what happens. Bada bing, bada boom.
You got to showcase him, and he's got to be pretty good to get rid of him. If he's pretty good, you're probably going to ride him.
But you need one team that says, you know what? Those Blue Jackets, those pesky Columbus Blue Jackets have a goalie as a backup or as a 1.5.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What's the best round of golf you've ever played? Score.
Ooh.
Just name, what's your career best?
Probably in the 80s, high 80s.
Okay. So let's say you went out and broke 90 for the first time ever.
And maybe low 80s.
And you went out and said, I'm going to play tomorrow. I just shot an 89. I've never broken 90 ever. What do you think the chances are you're breaking 90 the next day?
Probably pretty terrible.
Right. So
the odds that I get hit in the neck with a golf ball, a little more likely.
Yeah, I heard that you got piped with a golf ball in the throat.
I did.
It was intentional, I hope.
My own sweet grandfather drilled me in the neck with a golf ball.
I want to hear more about that story, but I want to pay off on that tease. New York Rangers forward Artemi Panarin and Madison Square Garden Sports, the company that owns them, paid financial settlements to a Rangers employee last year after she alleged that Panarin sexually assaulted her. This woman left the organization this last summer, August 24. Reached agreements, non-disclosure, no admission of wrongdoings. The settlement agreement was reached with Panarin and another with MSG Sports. This is one of those stories that is impossible to prove either way. So you're asking yourself the question, if it's impossible to prove, why did he settle? It's a good question. Maybe it was narrative driven. I don't want to deal with it. I have the money to quiet this, even if it's a lie. Most of us, hopefully, will never be in this position or never put ourselves in this position or have it happen to us. And I'm not making him guilty at all. I'm just saying that this is a bad look when you pay someone to be quiet over something that you've been horribly accused of if it's not true. The interesting part about the timing, Adam, is that there's no record of this woman reporting the incident to police. She didn't even alert the team. About 3 months after the assault, allegedly, she then informed the team as part of a investigation into a separate incident. The Rangers apparently learned that this woman who worked for them has anxiety around airplane travel. And it was pretty well known amongst the team. And allegedly, she had shared her anti-anxiety medicine with a player who reportedly had the same issue. She was placed on paid leave pending the outcome of that investigation. She felt she was treated so unfairly, she came back to them with, well, by the way, let me tell you what happened to me. She was still on leave. And an executive for MSG Sports, they had some meeting that included multiple Rangers office staff members and HR. And you can read about the alleged incident. She alleges that he took her phone on the road, and she had to go to his room to retrieve it. And when she did, that's where she claims this assault happened. Obviously, there's no camera. I'm sure there'd be cameras to see her going there. But each person's story could be true. Mm-hmm. He could be say, You could either say, I never had her phone, she came into my room for another reason, I sent her away, or I did take her phone, it was a joke, I gave it right back, she left. Like, any of this. So the question you have to ask yourself is, why would he pay her? And no one knows that. Sometimes when you're a celebrity, and like I said, I'm not making him innocent, I'm not making him guilty. I'm just telling you, when these kinds of stories pop up, it's a horrible look for everybody, and that's kind of why they usually financially settle, is to just seal it, end it. And now this story is out there that...
What have the Rangers said about it? Have they commented publicly about it? I mean, I'm sure they've been asked multiple times.
Well, they have an outside law firm. They conducted an independent investigation. The league was fully aware of that, and they consider the matter closed. So either they investigated it and found out that some of this doesn't look good, or they just helped their star player move on from it.
So did they consider it closed because it's settled? I don't know if you know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
No, they consider it closed because she signed a non-disclosure, and whatever money was paid, and that's it.
All right.
I mean, remember when Panarin took a leave of absence a few years ago because of the stuff that he was involved with some woman in Latvia. The Rangers denied that. They called it a tactic of some kind, and that's it. The guy was just their MVP of the season.
The Breadman.
It's a rough look for everybody involved, but it's sealed, and you draw your own conclusion from it. And maybe she clearly took the settlement, and he paid it, and the Rangers backed it, and
so now they're moving on. Everybody's moving on.
That's it.
Everybody's on with their life.
Yeah. All right, we're going to come back. Overs and unders.
Ooh,
he said he hasn't really prepared anything, so we'll find out if this is actually going to work. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Ever thought about teeing off in Ohio Stadium? Now is your chance with Upper Deck Golf. Play around in the Shoe, April 24th through 26th. Bring your friends and hit shots from the Upper Deck onto custom greens on the iconic field below. You'll start and end your round at the Stadium Clubhouse with great music, cold beer, food, and interactive golfing challenges. Make it a VIP experience with additional perks, including free entry into driving, chipping, and putting challenges. Tee times will go fast. Register now at upperdeckgolfing.com to book a tee time. That's upperdeckgolfing.com.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's going to audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow. That is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Join our resident gambling degenerates Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility. The Fan.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, JOEQ. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
Rothman and Ice presents Overs and Unders.
Overs and unders. How many segments will Adam King trail into the studio while I'm talking already?
You know what's interesting is it happens probably twice a show. But I'm here. I made it. I'm on time.
By the way, real quickly, we are going to give out 2 passes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame today on the show. Gold Jacket Thursdays and the Pro Football Hall of Fame passes. One of my favorite things ever on this show is having these legends on every week and tapping into their memories and the eras they played in. We'll give you 2 passes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Also, you can register for the grand prize at 971thefan.com/goldjacket. One winner will get 2 tickets to the Hall of Fame game, the enshrinement ceremony presented by Novartis, and the Hall of Fame Museum. All right, we'll have that for you. Listen closely. Baby Chet, it's his time.
I was just going to ask real quick. Do you also get a gold jacket with that? No gold jacket is given in that big sweepstakes?
You get a bronze jacket.
Ooh, Supplied by Cole now. You can't promise something and not give it Cole.
I'm stitching them together myself.
All right.
You'll wear a jacket, and then we'll give you some bronzer.
There you go.
How's that?
Sounds good.
All right, go ahead. What do you got?
All right, fellas, this is a bit of a unique NFL draft.
Okay.
Because we haven't seen a single first-round pick get traded yet, and that is usually not how this goes. So, we play this on Fridays. The first round is going to be on Thursday, so we can do a little bit of draft stuff in this week's overs and unders. Pre-draft first-round trades, over, under, half a trade.
What? Over?
But what? Come on.
In Cole. The first round?
Cole.
Pre-draft.
I'm sorry. Not during the draft.
Okay,
I thought you were giving us a 2-foot putt there.
I'll still take the over. Somebody's going to make a trade here within the next 4 days. But, I mean, I think at the end of this thing, you're going to end up with like 3 first-round pick trades.
I hope it's a lot. I hope it gets messy.
No, Messi plays in Cleveland tomorrow. Sorry, that confusion there. Hey-oh.
Beat me to it.
Sorry. The pre-draft trade, but it has to be a first-round type of situation.
We got a straight-up 1 through 32 right now, and that's usually not what it looks like.
I'm going to wait till draft night.
Wow.
Does it count on...
Actually, you know what? I like that better.
So you're saying the draft has to start for this to be an over?
I actually like what you just said better. We're going to change this to Thursday at midnight. When the clock strikes over to Thursday, meaning by Wednesday night.
I already locked mine in.
Are you changing your answer?
Are you going to change your answer?
Well, no, because I'm a man of my word. But I just want to say changing the rules after is shady, Cole, and I'm not playing your game anymore.
But technically, you said there's going to be a trade made in the next 4 days.
Doesn't
and the
matter,
next 4 days
right.
are Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So that's still good.
I don't want to talk to you anymore, Cole.
Yeah, I'm going to wait it out. I think we've gone this far. Feel like it'll happen Thursday or beyond.
All right, Ellie De La Cruz has 3 errors in the last 2 games. Reds fans are not happy.
Well, what did they think was going to happen? Like, have you not watched him play? He's unbelievable. But this is what he does. You left beer on a vibrating bed. What did you think was going to happen? Like, that
feels like something that's happened to you there, Rothman. That's oddly specific.
Huh.
Like, he's going to boot some balls. Go ahead, continue.
How many errors does he get in this 3-game series with the Baltimore Orioles? Over, under, 1.5?
Under. He's taking a look at it. He's sitting there. He's thinking about life. Fans are mad. He's going to make a concerted effort to not do that.
Screw up.
To not screw up, as we all do.
What, do you happen to have tomorrow's ground ball handy?
Yeah.
Like, we have no idea.
Yes. Yes.
Like, how could you even know that?
Listen.
He's going to be more focused?
You know what?
Maybe he won't try as hard.
You know.
Is that what you're saying?
Maybe he's listening to Rothman and Ice right now, and he's going to decide which side he wants to be on after he hears your take.
He still can be an elite defender and also be a guy who makes errors. Like, that can happen. He can make the dramatic, athletic defensive play, and he can also boot the routines. It happens a lot. But you're giving me a 1.5. You're giving me 1 error.
1.5?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 1
All right, I'm going to take the under on that with Adam. I'll take the under. That means,
now, how could you know that?
I don't.
You got tomorrow's ground ball handy?
Nice. Ashton Genty draft slot. Over, under, 10.5.
Oh, I like that.
You saying
over would be past 10.
To whom it may concern, the Raiders are at 6, the Bears are at 10, the Cowboys are at 12.
I don't think that Genty falls to 12. I don't think there's any world he falls to 11. No, he's going in the top 10.
Yeah, I think so too. I think somebody might even move to get him. It's that weird.
Well, he put out that statement pretty much that he's going to do what Saquon's doing in Philadelphia.
Yes, the declaration letter.
I will say this. As a man who runs a dynasty league, I'm hooked. I want to find a way to go trade up and get him in my dynasty league. So if I'm a GM and I'm reading that, I'm finding a way to make sure that guy is on my team, is a leader of my team moving forward. He is my team.
Abdul Carter said 4 times that he was going to get drafted first, and now he's posting Lawrence Taylor highlight videos.
Are we talking about Abdul Carter or are we talking about Ashton Genty here?
Austin.
Talking about a sit. Talking about a sit.
Stone Cold Steve Austin Genty.
Austin.
There you go. All right. Russell Henley's final ranking in the RBC Heritage. He's currently tied for 3rd. There's kind of a glut that's tied for 3rd. And this is even odds on a sports book right now. 5.5th place. So if he wins, he gets first place. That is an under. If he finishes 10th, let's say, that would be an over. Russell Henley.
A glut. An excessively abundant supply of something. Did you know that? I learn something new every day.
I did.
There is an abundant supply of people tied for 3rd right now.
I've never heard someone use glut.
There's a glut of you-know-what on the show right now.
That's a tough one.
So you're saying he's got to finish what?
Tied for 5th.
5th or better
would be
the under. 5th or better would be the under.
I mean, you're better to pick the over.
I'm going to take the over just from an odd standpoint. He usually does really well there and misses the cut. Like, it's a roller coaster from there. But I like the over on that. There's a couple of pretty good guys in this thing with Wyndham Clark and JT and others. So Scheffler might leapfrog him. So over. He's going over.
Gotcha. All right, just throw a dart at this one. Trae Young over under 25.5 points tonight against the Heat in the play-in.
Over. I mean, when you get into a play-in game like this, big players like to have the ball in their hands, as they should.
What's the number?
25.5.
Over. All right, we're both over on that one.
We're both over.
All right, we're coming back. Top of the hour. The captain, Boone Jenner, will jump on the show, talk about this year and next year and everything in between. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
And the top overall pick in this year's draft is the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. That's right, it's number one in my heart. This is Scotty Vegas, and we're hosting a special draft show and watch party starting at 7 p.m. Thursday, April 24th for the first round of the draft. Watch and place wagers on the picks with over 30 kiosks, contests, prizes, and a live show at 7 at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Let's go to the floor with some late-breaking developments on the markets. Jim?
Up things are down, down things are up.
Sounds like things
You don't understand. Right is left, lemons are sweet, spaghetti is cold, the milk is warm.
Okay, but are you seeing anything that maybe smart-minded money people should know about?
Yeah. Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Probably one of the most stable things you can do is an Apex Pros air conditioner tune-up.
Air conditioner tune-ups, you say?
Oh, yeah. Apex Pros knows most expensive summer breakdowns can be prevented by getting a tune-up now.
Yes, it's known that a tuned-up AC lowers energy bills, which is important to...
Oh, this is unbelievable.
What, big sell-off? Huge increase?
No, I spilled coffee on my new shirt. Anyway, tune-up save on energy bills, plus make your air conditioner last years longer.
Good to know Apex Pros keeps things stable and predictable.
That's on my pants, too. This is the worst day. This is historic. You know that.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here from my friends at High Bank Distillery Co., located right here in Columbus. Introducing their newest product, 614 Vodka, Ohio's house vodka. Perfect to make a drink at home or try when you're out at your favorite local restaurant. Learn more at 614vodka.com.
Progressive knows sports brings people together, but you gotta feel bad for people who don't even get it. Some people will never know what it's like to see their favorite team's hopes decided by a ping pong ball to draft the next superstar. Or not. I mean, sure, it's silly for your happiness to hinge on the success of a 20-year-old entry-level employee, but you just can't help yourself. The stress is exhilarating. Progressive can't bring people together like the draft, but we can bring your home and auto insurance together with a bundle. So switch and see if you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
A SoFi Personal Loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own death-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The Columbus Blue Jackets ended their season on a high note, beating the New York Islanders 6-1 at Nationwide last night. The Jackets ended the year on a 6-game winning streak, an emotional year following the passing of Johnny Gaudreau, who Dean Evison said would not be forgotten.
I'll tell you this, he will not leave our dressing room as long as I'm here. He will be in there, and he'll be a presence, and he'll help us win hockey games, and hopefully get us to where we want to be, and that's to win the Stanley Cup.
The Cincinnati Reds begin a series against the Baltimore Orioles at 7:05 this evening. You can hear it over on the Fan's HD3. We'll join it in progress here on the Fan at 8. And the Cleveland Guardians head to Pittsburgh to face the Pirates this weekend. 6:40 first pitch tonight. This one's sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, and of course online at rcdrv.com.
Maddie ranked the most dynamic duo of all time, Caesar Salad and Moscow Mule. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, welcome back, second hour. Just did a full one on the Jackets. We continue with a captain. And although only 26 games, and that had to be very frustrating to not have all those games that he had hoped for this year, he made quite an impact here at the end in helping this team push for the playoffs. He is Boone Jenner, and he's with us now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Boone, welcome, my man. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, so just what's going through your mind right now today? The dust is settled. You kind of get a chance to exhale here. I know you've probably been asked a lot about, the consolation of getting close but not getting in. Like, what are the emotions? What are you feeling right now? What's going through your mind about this year?
To be honest, it's a tough day. Day you don't want to happen, and the whole way down the stretch, the feeling was we're getting in, and to come up short, it's a failure of where we want to get to. So after everything we've been through this year and the way we battled, it sucks. It's a bad feeling, I guess, not being able to get to where we want to get to, coming up short this year.
Yeah, listen, you're a pro. You've been around this a long time. I think you can probably feel the emotion from the fans and that everybody believes that you guys overachieved massively, and they're taking some consolation from that. I suppose that doesn't make you feel too much better, but can you at least identify that people kind of didn't believe in you guys this year? So were you more of riding the emotion and the unique and the tragedy that brought you guys closer together? Tell us a little bit about what you think carries over to next season that you can hang your hat on.
Yeah, I mean, the expectations and all that, we didn't really look into that at all as a team. I mean, we had a ton of belief in that room and throughout the whole year, and the way we were building and coming together as a team, throughout the whole season. And, I think we took some major strides there, but obviously, like I said, we come up short. So right now, I mean, the hunger's at an all-time high for this group and getting to where we want to get to. And, the first step of that would be getting into the playoffs and having a chance to play for the Cup. And, it sucks that we're not doing that this year. So that's, it's going to drive us all summer heading into training camp. I mean, I'm motivated, and like I said, the belief in our group is very high in that room. And, the fan support has been unbelievable all season. And, we want to bring them back, playoff hockey.
We heard from Dean yesterday. He said, we'll not leave our dressing room, talking about Johnny. He'll be in there, and he'll be a presence forever. For you guys, how do you carry over the legacy of this season to next year and carry on what was truly, a special year playing for Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, that's, completely true. He's never going to be out of our dressing room. He's always going to be with us. Always going to be a teammate. His family's always going to be a part of it. And all season we played for Johnny, but we're going to continue to do that. And I think we miss him every day on the ice and off the ice. And just even his family being around and coming to games is so inspiring to us. And we'll continue to honor him, and I'm sure the fans will as well. Like they did a tremendous job all year with us honoring him, and we'll continue to do that as a group. And like I said, he's a part of us, and that'll never change. So we just
When you look at the leadership in this locker room, obviously you're a huge part of that. How has that been such a strong point for the team this year? And I mean, to go 6 wins down the stretch there, it takes a lot of leadership when you needed it most. Obviously, there are no moral victories, but how important was that to this locker room, and how important is keeping that core together moving forward?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, that's something we take a lot of pride in our dressing room, and every guy in there is team first and puts the team ahead of themselves. And you've seen that all year, the way guys battle for each other, and we went right to the end, and obviously it didn't work out for us, but it's something to build on. That attitude, that drive that we had. I think no matter who comes into our locker room or can say that we play for each other, and everyone in there is a good teammate. So definitely a close group. That, like I said, that's kind of where the hunger comes from. Is we want to keep pushing each other and making our team better.
He's Boone Jenner. He's the captain, and this is the team he was drafted to, and the team that he has excelled with and fought with all this time since that time back in 2011, 2012. Let me ask you about. You almost had number 200 last night. Was that on your mind? Like, I know fans I thought about it, but maybe it's okay that it carries in the next season, because it wouldn't have come in a playoff type, push game, right? That game last night didn't matter in the big picture, but was that on your mind at the end there, trying to nail 200?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, you guys were saying it to me before the game or even a couple games ago. So, yeah, I had a couple of looks, but, it is what it is. Won't be getting it until next year, so got to sit on that all summer, but it's all good. I, don't put too much thought into that stuff. But, I had a couple of looks, didn't go in, so it is what it is, and, move on.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's, listen, it's a nice character.
It's a big one.
Yeah, right, exactly. It wasn't meant to be last night, right? It was meant to be in a game that will matter in the standings, and that'll come next year. From a physical standpoint and everything you went through this year, you're such a physical player. You go to the dirty areas on the ice. You take the physical abuse. You're that kind of a player. Tell me a little bit about what this offseason is going to be like for you and coming back again. You're a veteran. You've been through this a lot, but trying to just have your body hold up moving forward and what you think about.
No, absolutely. It's been a focus for, number of summers now. Is it doesn't matter, how strong or anything like that. You want to be able to play 82 games. You want to be available to play the whole season for your team. So this season, it's a little different for me just because of the injury. Tough bounce at the start of the year, and it was kind of you're training all summer and then another 4 months off. So I feel pretty fresh right now, only playing 26 games. So it'll be a little different. The body's not as banged up, I guess, as usual, and but that's definitely a focus, and it is every year. Of you want to give yourself the best chance to stay healthy throughout the course of a long season.
I've got to ask you here, having Jet play like that down the stretch, how special was that for this team as you guys needed wins? And, I mean, it was like a brick wall there in goal. How great was that? And how much did that bring the locker room together in that stretch run?
Yeah, I mean, he was unbelievable, as you guys saw. Came right up after playing a game in the American League, comes in and, he played 4 games in 5 nights and was a brick wall, like you said, in the most crucial time of the year, where must wins for us. So what a boost that gave us, as a group. And, just so happy for him. Just an amazing teammate and guy around the locker room that works extremely hard every day. And to see him, have that success and give us a chance was outstanding. So, obviously a huge boost for us.
And you want to win for a guy like that, right? I mean, he's playing so hard, and it kind of frees you guys up a little bit when he's making those kind of saves. It's uplifting. I guess the elephant in the room, Boone, you're a captain and veteran, so I can ask you, this is going to be a big question going into the offseason for this team and for this management. I know you'll probably leave it up to them, but I'm sure you have a take on that could be the missing piece, right? Goaltending. You were a top 10 offensive team this year. If you can get the goaltending, if you can get a little different defensive structure at times, all of a sudden then maybe all things come together. Do you feel like that will be a focus this year to try to tap into who will lead this team in goal next year, or is it still Elvis's team in your mind?
Yeah, like you said, that's up to management. Obviously, Elvis was playing some really good hockey for us this year as well. So, I mean, we're confident with whoever's in the net. As far as Jet, Elvis, and Tarasov. So we feel comfortable and confident with any of those guys, behind us in the pipes. And I think time will tell what happens there. Obviously, there's only one net, but like I said, all great teammates and guys to put in there and battle for us. So we're not worried about that.
All right. So let us know any fun summer plans. What do you think you're going to get into? Any goals? Any bucket list stuff?
Not much yet, guys. I haven't really. It's only been a day, and like I said, I really thought we'd be gearing up for a game tomorrow or the next day, but we'll take a couple of days here to evaluate. But just trying to, get some last memories with your teammates here before everyone heads home right now. So I'll get to that, and maybe next time we'll talk or catch up on what I did.
Good for you, man. Good for you. That's the absolute truth, and I know it'll take a little bit to flush this out, and we wish you the best, man. Couldn't have a better guy representing this team, and for many years that you've done it and will do it, we thank you. Be well, best to your family, and hopefully we'll talk soon.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the support.
Thanks, man. You got it. Boone Jenner with us on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fangast Hotline.
I love that this is a sad day for them and a frustrating day for them. I mean, because as the fan base, we have all come together and just celebrated this team and the specialness that was this season. But for them, they aren't looking as today as a chance to reflect and be merry and say, hey, look what we did. They're all upset. As you heard him say, he's preparing to play a game in 2 days. That's the mantra and mindset you have to have inside a locker room and carry over into next year.
Yeah, that's the reality of it, that it's not a consolation prize to him that they got close. They've gone through now 2 levels of deflation. Canadians winning and officially eliminating them, and then having to play in front of their home fans to end the season, do it the right way. And now it's locker clean out, exit interviews, all that stuff. And then it's try to get your mind right for the offseason. And like you said, it's the carrot on the stick for a lot of them now is getting that close and not getting in. But make no mistake, the bar is now set. You didn't go from a team that probably could have been a 70-point hockey team to 80. You got to 88, and now that's the bar. Mm-hmm. So now the expectations and what they have to live up to next year is real, and he'll be a big part of that leadership group. We'll come back with Pressure Cooker on a Friday. Who's going in? Find out next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, as Care grew over the years, you had many opportunities to sell Care to one of the big conglomerates that are buying companies all over Central Ohio. So tell our customers why you decided to keep Care in the family.
After talking about Care's values for over 30 years, I couldn't bear the thought of Care becoming the kind of company I was warning our customers about. I know the two of you will continue to treat our customers as I would, with honesty and integrity.
We will, Dad. In 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Buy now with pre-tariff pricing at Coughlin Kia. Lease a new 2025 Kia K4, just $195 a month plus taxes and fees. Or choose low 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new 2025 Kia Sportage or Sorrento. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
1.9% for 60 months equals $18.37 per 1,000 with approved credit through Kia Motor Finance. 24-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents per mile over. 2025 due. Excludes $250 dock fee, $400 disposition fee at lease end. No security deposit. See dealer for details. Ends 4/30/25.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at a great afternoon, so make sure you get out and enjoy it. We'll be in the low 80s, but a little bit windy, so keep that in mind. More sunshine as well. We'll see temperatures tonight, mid-60s, pretty dry through the overnight until we get to early Saturday. That's when showers and storms return. A few could be strong, mid-70s. Lingering rain Easter, but there will be dry time as well. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Under Pressure.
There has to be time today to hear more about this Titleist of the Adam's apple that you took at some point.
It was a sponsorship deal. They wanted the brews to spell Titleist, but it didn't, sadly.
So your grandfather hit you with a golf ball?
My grandfather hit me
in the throat?
In the throat.
And then he signed it? Like Corso did the other day?
He signed the ball and the throat, which I thought was nice, because that way you get double. I don't know if it was intentional. He seemed distraught about it, but it could have all been fake.
Critical acclaim. Great acting.
Yeah, that's what it felt.
All right, so we talked so much hockey in the first hour. I'm just going to stick with hockey here for pressure. I may put two teams in there. I'm definitely going to put Winnipeg in there because that's 116 points. That's an 86 goal differential plus side. That's the best team in the league this year. Home record of 37-4. I mean, are they too good to fail? They've got a Vezina Trophy frontrunner in Hellebuck. They got a first-round matchup against the Blues. The Blues have been playing must-win hockey for a couple months, so they may be ready to peak and try to upset them. I think there's an enormous amount of pressure on Winnipeg. You know why? Because they've lost 2 first-round showdowns the last 2 years. Now, this Winnipeg team is as deep as they've ever been. But I look at 42 wins a couple of years ago, out and 4 to Vegas. 52 wins last year, out and 4 to Colorado. 56 wins. You cannot lose this series. You cannot have 116 points with a plus 86 goal differential and lose to the Blues. They just don't have as much talent. And I don't think it's going to be a sweep, but you better be careful. And you better send this little St. Louis story, this fun little story that they were very good at the end of getting in. You got to send them packing. So I'm putting it on Winnipeg.
Is there no sound in between? I thought there was. I was waiting for the drop. I apologize.
No, that's on. I don't know if we've ever really put a drop in between on that. Would you like one? Oh, yeah, Stefanski.
Okay.
You get that.
I am putting the entire sport of college football
on notice.
On notice, putting them in the pressure cooker. And listen, it comes like this. You have to stick together. You have to link arms, and you have to stand up for one another. And you can't allow things like what happened at Tennessee to happen to other schools. You've got to say, if someone's going to hold a school hostage, no one's going to take them. We're going to move on. Because what happened to Nico Iamaleava is exactly what had to happen. He went to UCLA. He took a pay cut. He went to a worse situation. He took
a pay cut.
He took less money.
I know.
If everybody looked around and they said, you know what? I'm not doing it to my program. I'm not doing it to his program. And that's what has to happen. You have to make sure that people can't hold your program hostage because it's not fair to the other players on the team. Nico Iamaleava was not worth $4 million. I give credit to Tennessee. I give credit to the SEC. I give credit to college football. There you go.
But you can't hold an entire sport responsible for the behavior of one greedy player. For if you do, isn't that an indictment on the entire college football system? I put it to you, Adam.
You can't handle the truth.
That wasn't a different movie, but it was a good way to go.
Yeah.
All right, I promised I'd stay with hockey. I will. I think the Dallas Stars have lost their final 7 games of the season. And I don't think they rested many people during those 7 games. I think they iced a full team in game 82 to try to get some confidence. Didn't happen. Jason Robertson, I think, was seen leaving in a knee brace. This is not how you strategically play the last 7 games of your season. The purpose of resting people, last I checked, was to avoid injury. They were a Stanley Cup favorite, or one of them. They've been locked into second place in the Central for several games. They play the Avs. It's a big matchup on Saturday. It starts. They head into the playoffs, like I said, on a 7-game losing streak. That's the worst to end a season in franchise history. Now, I understand regular season playoffs, flip the switch, nothing matters, move forward. But Robertson was their second leading scorer this season, played all 82, 80 points, 35 goals. They couldn't be going into this in a worse way. So a lot of pressure on them based on the way they finished the season.
I am putting the show College Game Day in the pressure cooker. And here's why. Lee Corso will have his final week on air.
It's going to be here, right?
Week 1. And so it has to be Ohio State versus Texas. Other fans were throwing stuff out and saying, oh, what about this? No. Listen, ESPN. And I'll even say this to Lee. I don't care if you think Ohio State's going to win the game. I don't care if you think Texas is going to win by 40. You grab that Brutus head and you put it on your head so you can have the full circle moment.
Adam.
Because that is what life is about. It is about symmetry. And I cannot wait to see the first head that Lee Corso put on be at the horseshoe and the last head be at the horseshoe.
There aren't too many locks in sports. I'm willing to say that 99.9% lock that they are here and Corso goes full Brutus. There'd be no other recipe. He couldn't be thinking anything else.
Outfit. I want him to walk out dressed as Brutus. We don't even know it's Brutus. Doing backflips, we're like, oh, it's just a normal Brutus.
It's normal 89-year-old, yeah. I think it's a lock. And I know nothing.
Few things in life are a lock. The only thing that's a lock is that Cole's hair is going to look like that every day because he uses hairspray.
And he might not even be listening to the show right now.
What is he
even
watching?
Better.
At 1:24, he's watching like the final 3 minutes.
Honestly, no. I'm actually talking, looking through the glass, and I don't think he's not listening to anything
He's having a conversation with Timmy Hall.
That's amazing. You're being distracted. Now you want to re-engage in the show.
Welcome back to the show.
You don't even know the segment's going over nothing.
I know we got a minute and a half left in this bed.
I know, but you doing your own show in there?
We were talking to you.
Oh, well, Tim and I were talking about some WWE woman.
Well, why would you do that during the show?
Some what?
Not wait for the commercial break.
Because he walked in and started talking.
You know what, Cole? That's fired with cause right there.
I'll pass the buck. What, did you need a drop and I didn't have it ready?
No,
Here you go.
We didn't need anything.
You know who my dad is?
Wow.
What a drop.
That's quite a tease.
Do you think he was watching a Purina ad?
All right, so I guess I need another pressure cooker.
We have a minute 20.
This sounds counterintuitive, but I'm going to do it because he finished fourth in last week's Masters. I'm going to put on Scotty Scheffler, and I'll tell you why.
Uh-oh.
Well, it's not an uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He's in pretty good shape last time I checked.
He's struggling with money.
We slipped the green jacket on Rory last Sunday, and then you exit stage left right away. He couldn't keep the ball in the course.
Hold on.
What?
Are you mad about how he handled?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying he's the top-ranked player in the world, and he hasn't won yet this year. That's all I'm saying. He was 0 for 7 this season.
Right.
Now, it's all relative. He has 4 top 10s. But he won 8 times last year, including 3 wins by this time last year. That's how he's viewed, win or bust. I'm just saying he needs to win soon. He probably feels that kind of pressure, knowing that he just slipped the green jacket onto somebody else.
Were you okay with how he handled the green jacket ceremony?
I didn't even know that he handled it.
It's a drama.
It was a non-story. I don't know what they expected.
People wanted him to stick around and shake hands and wave, and he put
Rory's
the jacket
moment.
on. Yes, exactly. And he got out of there.
I mean, by the way, it's kind of cringy. And I love the Masters more than anything. And I feel like when another man has to slip a jacket on another man, it's trying to find a way to get the arm in the sleeve.
Dom and I do that before every show.
Yeah, I know. And it's not, you guys love that.
Yeah.
And then you ride piggyback into the studio.
That's exactly how it happens.
The difference here is these guys hand me the jacket, I'll put it on, because it never really works when you're trying to hold that arm out. The guy can't get his arm back. There's no great way to do it.
I also think it's interesting that we make a guy who is obviously frustrated that he just lost the Masters stick around to give the jacket to another guy.
That's tradition, sir, and it's unlike any other.
It's tradition, and it's unlike any other. You know what else is unlike any other? The pimento cheese sandwiches. You don't see them sticking around for the egg salad. No, they're their own thing, okay? You know the chat has nothing. We've had nothing in the chat.
Why? We're doing a radio show. Why are you so obsessed?
We did all the days that Ice was here.
Yeah, why? I've never seen, and I know you're in TV, but I've never seen someone so obsessed with rando chats. Is that what you do on go home and just hop in message rooms?
No, but I would love if at 10 TV and I was in the middle of my sportscast, we had a little thing on the side of the screen where you could reply to my sportscast.
And the viewers could see it?
Well, I could see it. Well, I guess, the viewers could see it with each other. I don't really want the viewers talking to each other, but they could talk to me, I don't want that to start a little revolution.
That's why this radio station needs a text line. I've been lobbying for this. We need a text line so the listeners can communicate with us.
Cole, you were just watching TV for 15 minutes. We'd have a text line. You never see one come in.
I'm watching McAfee. There's a lot of news that breaks on that show recently.
It was pretty amazing that Tim walked in there and you guys were just having a conversation. We might have needed you for something.
Yeah, what if the world was ending?
You're like a lifeline.
We talked about a lot in a little bit of time. We talked about my shirt. We talked about soccer. And we talked about this female WWE wrestler who we both agreed could beat us in an arm wrestling competition.
I am very confused before we go to break.
This is what I'm upset about. You were more interested in somebody else's show than what we were saying on our own show. We weren't captivating enough for you.
Tim's also my boss. You're my boss.
What? Come on.
Whoa.
Let's not oversell
You're
things here.
You're my boss. He's my boss. Fish is my boss.
Wow.
Well,
Ice
if
is my
I'm your boss and I'm talking
Anybody
right now.
else feel like they just got put in the pressure cooker? Whew.
That's unreal.
Adam, you're my boss today.
I am not your boss. I am nobody's boss. I am the pilot of my own life. You are the pilot of your own life. Rothman, you are the pilot of your own life. That is how I feel.
I remember last time this happened.
I have one boss in this world.
This thing just...
What was I needed for?
I'm going to turn this show and spin it right into a bridge abutment. I feel like it's not that you were needed specifically. It's that if you were needed, you weren't accessible.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Ray Fittipaldo is next. We'll get some real insight. He covers the Steelers.
Fittipaldo.
Do they want him? Yes. Not Emerson Fittipaldi, but Ray Fittipaldo.
I love that name.
2 minutes.
Fittipaldo.
Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Maddie's favorite show is Big Brother. Don't read into it. He's only watching strangers through hidden cameras. You're listening to Rothman and Creepy Stalker Guy.
Well, that fits as well today. All right, let's go to the Steel City and connect with our friend Ray Fittipaldo, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. A lot of drama going on there in Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers keeping the Steelers kind of waiting. Do they care? Let's find out. Ray, how you been, my man?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you?
Pretty well. So give me your reaction to the whole Rodgers interview on McAfee yesterday and what you think the Steelers are going to do with the draft looming in a week and Aaron Rodgers still deciding.
Yeah, in terms of how the Steelers felt about McAfee's appearance, I don't get the idea that they were put off by it by any means, because I think Aaron already communicated to them what was going on in his personal life. So, I think they're going to wait a little while longer. Eventually, of course, they're going to need an answer. So I'm guessing within a month, OTAs start second or third week of May. I think by then they would want an answer. In terms of how it affects their approach to this draft, I don't think it does. Like if Aaron Rodgers decides not to come, I don't think they're going to reach for a quarterback at 21. Now, if some defensive linemen are off the board and some of their favorite targets aren't there, then yeah, maybe they can go for a Shedeur Sanders, or for a Jackson Dart, but I don't think that's their first priority. So I've believed all along that they'll take a quarterback in this draft, but I think it's probably going to be more of a developmental guy, second day, third day type of a guy that they could, maybe take a flyer on, see if he could be their starter in the future.
When you think of Rodgers, in your eyes, if he were to sign with Pittsburgh, is that what this team needs to get them over what's felt like? It just feels like we all make the jokes, but they have an over 500 season, but that's kind of the celebration every year. Is he the guy to push them to that next level?
I don't think so. I mean, they haven't won a playoff game since after the 2016 season, and they've had a bunch of different quarterbacks, in that time span who haven't been able to get it done. I think Aaron Rodgers, if Aaron Rodgers comes here, I think their ceiling is probably 11 wins. Maybe he's the guy to get you over the hump and get one win in the playoffs. But when you're looking at an AFC with Josh Allen in Buffalo, Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, and a bunch of other good teams on top of that, it's hard to see a path for the Steelers, even with Aaron Rodgers, being a team that gets to a championship game or, a Super Bowl. So, if the Steelers do this, I think they're just trying to do what they always do, try to get into the playoffs and see if you can get on a special run. But in my mind, I don't think Aaron Rodgers at age 41 is going to put them over the top for a team that's going to contend for a Super Bowl.
What is the level of frustration right now in Pittsburgh? I mean, obviously, the expectations for this franchise are sky high. Obviously, Mike Tomlin has proven he can win, but what is the level of anger right now, or at the end of their rope, would you say, for the Steelers fans?
Yeah, so I mentioned they haven't won a playoff game since 2016. And it's not just that's the longest playoff win drought since 1970. Okay, this is as long as they've gone without a playoff victory in that time. Even in the 1980s, after the dynasty in the 70s, they still managed to win a playoff game here and there. But it's not just that. It's the nature in which they lose in the playoffs. All of those since 2017 have been one and dones. And most of them have been by blowouts, including this past season in Baltimore. Now, that was only 28-14, but believe me, I was there. It was much worse than that. So the frustration level is high right now. But listen, Mike Tomlin is signed for 3 more years. They're going to pay him $50 million over that span. If fans are angry about it, they're not going to get a new head coach out of this. They are not going to fire Mike Tomlin, not when they have to pay him all that money over the next 3 seasons.
Our friend Ray Fittipaldo, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, covering the Steelers. And maybe they've already made their decision. It feels like this Rodgers thing is going to drift past the draft. He talked about personal life stuff, and it doesn't even sound like he's all in, even on playing football. Like his mind didn't feel clear to me on where his real priorities are, Ray. But I want to take you back to, all right, so let's not force a quarterback at 21. They've kind of done that before with Pickett. Let's say that they do want to, the defensive linemen, they have to restock the cupboard after Cam Hayward and Benton and see if they can do something there. But if it's what you say they may do, come back, take a quarterback in round 3, and we've got one here from Ohio State and Will Howard, a former Buckeye and Kyle McCord. Tyler Shuck's getting a lot of run. What is your vibe on when they talk about the second tier of quarterbacks, who they may be zeroing in on?
Well, they've done their homework on them all. They went to Ohio State's Pro Day, and they got to know Howard. They went to Texas and got to know Quinn Ewers. They went to Alabama for Milroe and Leonard for Notre Dame. And they also brought in, for top 30 visits, Shuck, Dart, and Sanders. So they're going to take a quarterback at some point. It's just a matter of who and when. And all those guys are different flavors, right? Like for me, I did my final mock draft. I had them taking Tyler Shuck in the 3rd round. To me, if you take away the injuries, and I know it's hard to take away the injuries with that guy because there have been so many, but from a pure arm talent standpoint, if you're looking for that prototypical pro-style quarterback, and I understand a lot of teams aren't looking for that now. They're looking for the new, run guy too. Could also hurt you with his feet, but Shuck looks like he has a special arm. There's a lot there, though, with the injury history. But for me, if I'm going to take a guy in the 3rd round, I would go with the guy that has a lot of upside. And I think Shuck, despite his age, has some upside.
Ray, if they don't take a quarterback at pick 83 or beforehand, is that it? Then they just decide nobody's left. We don't have to take a quarterback. So if we get to the Steelers draft in round 3 and they don't have a quarterback yet and they don't take one, is that the end of the line for this year?
Yeah, and they got to take someone because right now the only quarterbacks on their roster are Mason Rudolph Skylar Thompson. And Skylar Thompson was signed to a futures contract in January. I'm not even sure he's going to be on the 53 in September. So I think they have to take one at some point. Like a guy like Riley Leonard, maybe whose ceiling is as a backup. Maybe they would take him in the 6th round. They hope they could develop him into a backup. And then I've said all along, guys, if you watch what the Steelers have been doing with their comp picks, not this year, but next year, they're going to have probably 2, maybe 3 third-round comp picks. I think they're going to use that as ammunition to move up and to get one of those QBs in 2026 when it's supposed to be. I know that's a big if, but when it's supposed to be a much better quarterback class than what we have this year.
Yeah. Well done, my man. Should be a fun week of hype. Enjoy it. We'll be reaching out to you soon.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Talk to you later.
Thanks. Ray Fittipaldo, always there when we need him in the Steel City, covering the Steelers for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. You can't, he's basically what he's saying is you can't ignore the Steelers' interest in quarterbacks. We just don't know if the priority is at 21 or whether it's later. I'm with him. I feel like round 3, pick 83 is the right spot. The value, there may be some value there, taking one of those guys in the 3rd round, Shuck, Howard, McCord, one of the others if they fall. But the one thing you have to wonder is one of them will be available. One of those guys should be available at 83. And I thought maybe if they didn't address the position in the 3rd round that they wouldn't. He's telling me that, no, they still will. No matter who, they have to get a quarterback out of this draft.
I think there can be conversations because we're a Columbus station, but I really think Will Howard is going to be one of the steals of this draft. I think if you give him a chance, he will live up to those expectations.
Well, he's saying the same thing. We'll do a little bit of that in the bulletin next. And a transfer portal shopping list includes a defensive end for Ohio State. We'll see if it happens. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
If you thought 60 was the new 40, I've got one for you. Did you know 85 is the new 1? That's right, 1. Central Ohio's premier lawn and garden center, Oakland Nursery, is turning 85 this year, and they remain Central Ohio's leader in quality plant material and great value. Get into one of Oakland's 4 big garden centers and experience Oakland quality, cultivated over 85 years of serving you. Oakland Nursery in Columbus, Dublin, Delaware, and New Albany. If you haven't been to Oakland Nursery, you simply haven't been to a nursery.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. April's a great time to spruce up around your house, like getting rid of those old, ugly, drafty, hard-to-open windows and starting fresh. Especially during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale going on now. There's no limit to how much you could save, and if you buy a house full of windows, they'll include a free entry door, too. Plus, with 0% financing, 0 down, and no monthly payments, you could get new windows and pay nothing until 2027. How do they do it? Well, Window Nation partners with the top window manufacturers in the nation to build windows to their high-quality specs. Then they pass the savings on to you. You'll protect your home with some of the best windows you can buy at a fraction of the price of those other brands. Just imagine what you could do with all that extra money. Hurry, the sale ends soon, so don't miss your chance to take advantage of the Buy 4, Get 4 free and pay nothing until 2027. Schedule your estimate right now at 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com. One more time, that's Buy 4, Get 4 free from Window Nation, 866-90NATION or windownation.com.
We've all been there. You come home after a long day only to find water dripping from the ceiling. Your roof has decided it's had enough, and now frustration sets in. Another unexpected problem added to your never-ending to-do list. At Newman Roofing, we get it. That's why we make the process simple and stress-free, handling every detail with professionalism, so you don't have to worry and can get back to the things that matter most to you. So, how do you begin? Step 1. Schedule your free estimate by calling our office at 614-NEW-ROOF or visiting our website, newmanroofing.com. Step 2. Meet with one of our trusted representatives who will guide you through the best plan for your home. Step 3, we get to work, and you watch your roof transform before your very eyes. Whether it's your roof, gutters, or siding, the Newman Roofing team is here to guide and support you every step of the way. Call today at 614-NEW-ROOF to schedule your free estimate and experience the Newman Roofing difference. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching.
Does this have peanuts?
To waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey there, I'm Jack.
And I'm Stag.
We're just two deer that want to make sure you know it's deer season at your authorized John Deere dealer. The deer season that saves bucks. You know, like us.
Yeah, you can get $3,000 off select John Deere machines. No early wake-up calls or tree stands required.
Just a trip to your authorized dealer before June 2nd.
If you ask us, it's the only deer season worth celebrating.
Visit johndeere.com/deer season to find an authorized dealer and for complete finance details.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, back at it, Buckeye Bulletin. Talked a lot about Will Howard. This isn't the days anymore of a guy going into the draft, unless you know you're going to be the number one overall pick. These guys don't go into it with the humbleness they used to. Hey, I don't care where I'm drafted. Wherever I am, I'm going to work my butt off. Know my role. That would be a nice situation to get into. I'll do what I'm asked to do. Like, that was the stock answer. You didn't want to come off cocky. You didn't want to come off arrogant. And now the tide has turned. If you don't do that, you come off weak, that you don't believe in yourself, that somehow it was more system generated and team generated, and that you were just an individual along for the ride. And I think that maybe it's the generation, or maybe it's just the trend. Maybe they see there is an advantage to doing it, that maybe someone would reconsider but usually what happens is it's not in the talk, it's in the tape. It always has been.
I think someone like Will Howard has the tape, but the talk, I think it's what you have to do nowadays. You have to sell yourself. People are looking for the guy that is confident in today's age of football. You want a guy that you trust is going to go out there. If he throws an interception, the next play he's not going to worry about it because he knows he's better than that interception. I think that's all Will Howard is saying. I mean, Will Howard has proven that he has vision on the field, and he is one of the smarter football guys when you think about it, reading defenses, whether you watch the Gruden thing or have just followed him the past year. He is very analytical on the football field. He can throw a great ball. He can win games. He's shown you that. He's a great leader. But selling yourself to somebody, you've never met them. I mean, if you go into a job interview, Anthony, and I said, tell me why you're right for this job. Are you going to say, well, I'm a really good radio host? Are you going to say, I can do the best radio show from 12 to 3 that you've ever listened to?
Within this price range.
Yeah, within this price range. Exactly. I mean, I know you don't want to spend over, $30,000. So
the best possible host going within this price range. So there's a scene in Moneyball. Have you guys seen it?
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you remember when all the old dudes are sitting around the table.
Mm-hmm.
And they've scouted all these players, and Billy Beane is acting like, hey, we don't have the money. You guys aren't understanding the process here. We can't afford those guys. We have to replace Isringhausen and Giambi, we have to replace them in the aggregate, right? And so one of the scouts looks at him and says, he's got an ugly girlfriend. And they're like, what? And like, it means he's got no confidence. Like, that was the mindset back then, where they're like, I mean, it was an unbelievable, it was kind of weird because it may have been over the top or may have been dead on accurate in the movie. But basically, they were intimating there must be something wrong with this guy if he's dating a girl like that. It was as real as it got back then for those guys. It was just weird. It was just like, they want a guy who had an attitude. That's what they were asking for, and that's what they were looking for. And so it kind of goes to the point of, it's just how you judge confidence. It was a very incredibly superficial way to look at it, right? She could have been a good person or anything like. Yeah. It was like, he doesn't swing for the fences in his dating life, so why will he do it for us? It was an unbelievable. Like, if you watch that movie, you go into that scouting scene again. It's one of the very unsung lines in that movie, but it goes to the point of that these guys aren't afraid anymore to look cocky or arrogant, or maybe even build themselves up beyond what they think they even are. I'm absolutely with you. You go in, most people that go into a job interview, they'll say whatever they think they have to get the job.
That's how I got this one.
And it does. Well, that's good. You've already got the job, so you can admit it. One of the greatest job interviews I've ever gone on is when I really didn't care for the job, didn't want the job. Those are the best ones to go in.
And that's how you got this one.
Probably so. No.
I think you are spot on. I think...
And I'm not saying Will's not believing in him. He is. But normally a guy like that, who is confident but not overly cocky, unless he's extinguishing cigarettes after the Indiana game, that's a little out of character. But it shows he has an edge because he comes off as just this perfectly nice guy and mature and a team guy, which he is. But when now he has to be an individual because he's being drafted. They're not drafting Ohio State. They're drafting him.
I go to Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. You must be the worst pirate I've ever heard of, but you have heard of me. Mm-hmm. I think making an imprint, whether it's one way or another, matters in the draft. If I'm thinking Will Howard or Jackson Dart, Will says he's the best quarterback in the draft. I haven't really heard from Jackson Dart. I guess there could be worse things you've heard of from Will Howard. He thinks he's really good. I love that concept of sell yourself, get yourself out there, and you have heard of me. You know that I have taken a stance as to how good I think I can be. Now, the side that follows that up is you got to live up to it.
Yeah.
But that's life.
All right.
That's football.
Baby Chet, set up one of those Will quotes for us, sound bites.
Well, here's him talking about exactly what we're talking about right now. He's very confident in himself.
If you don't have that belief in yourself, then what are you doing? So, I'm a confident guy. I feel like you have to have that intrinsic confidence in yourself. I believe that I have the arm strength. I believe I have the accuracy, all the physical traits. But I think really what sets me apart is my mind, my ability to deal with adversity. I've seen pretty much every situation that a college quarterback could see in my 40-some-odd starts. I've played a lot of football. I've seen a lot of stuff. Not a lot phases me, and I'm an elite processor. I feel like my ability to assess what the defense is doing and what we're doing, to combat that, I think that's what really sets me apart.
I forgot that was from NFL Live until I heard the music.
Well, good for him because he does have that. That's all true. He can lean into all of that. Sometimes it's easier for guys to talk about themselves than it is for others.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But he's been through a lot. And he has the national championship to show for it. He was a big part of it. He played tough. And, he's willing to run through the wall for teams. And that's what they want, maybe even more than anything.
I'm going to say this at 1:53 on April 18th, and I'm going to find it in 15 years. I think my hot take on Will Howard, I think he finishes his career with a Super Bowl ring.
As a starter?
I think so.
Well, you said think.
Wait, as a
so it
starter?
doesn't have a lot of weight to it.
I think it might be in a Nick Foles route. I think he might go somewhere and be a really good quarterback.
I think I'm going to win an Oscar.
Yes.
But it's not going to happen.
I'm locking it in. I believe that by the end of his career, Will Howard will have won a Super Bowl as the starter.
Now, we save audio on this show.
I save it.
So, You said 15 years. If you're still here, if we're all still here in 15 years, we'll have
now
audio.
he's worried about the
It's
end
going to
of
be
the
like
world.
Al Capone's vault. We'll break it open.
He just has the it factor, I think, more for the NFL than college. And he won a national title in college.
The question will be, does he have the NFL arm that when he's throwing against NFL corners, he's still throwing to NFL receivers like he was at Ohio State, but now they'll be covered by NFL corners. So it'll be interesting to see if that's correct. I would bet against that, but it doesn't mean it won't happen.
He also gets the luxury of not having to go to a bad team to start. He's not a number one overall pick.
But we don't know that yet. We don't know exactly where, because depending on how this all falls. All right, let's give out the Gold Jacket passes. Let's give out the 2 passes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You can also level that up by registering for our grand prize at 971thefan.com/goldjacket. One winner will get two tickets to the Hall of Fame game, the enshrinement ceremony presented by Novartis and the Hall of Fame Museum. But these 2 passes are for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This hour, I said that there could be a big lock, that nothing could be more of a lock in college football than this. The beautiful part about the question is that our producer has no clue what the answer is because he was talking to somebody else and not listening to the show, which means you may be able to tell him anything and it may be right. 821-9710 is the number.
If it's convincing, I'll take it.
The phone
they're
is
already ringing.
They're already ringing. I'll let you know what the answer is. All right, we'll come back top of the hour. We'll give out those and Aaron Rodgers on life, football, and beyond. Where's he leaning? You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Montana, Bettis, Horning, and Brown, some of the greatest of all time, kicked off their careers in South Bend. You can celebrate Notre Dame football's impact on the professional game by visiting the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton to experience Gold Helmet to Gold Jacket now through April 27th. And register to win our grand prize at 971thefan.com/goldjacket. One winner will receive 2 tickets to the Hall of Fame game enshrinement ceremony presented by Novartis and the Hall of Fame Museum. That's 971thefan.com/goldjacket.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
And the top overall pick in this year's draft is the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. That's right, it's number 1 in my heart. This is Scotty Vegas, and we're hosting a special draft show and watch party starting at 7 p.m. Thursday, April 24th for the first round of the draft. Watch and place wagers on the picks with over 30 kiosks, contests, prizes, and a live show at 7 at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I
to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor.
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
A birthday greeting to Reds infielder Doug Flynn this April 18th. A native of Lexington, Kentucky, Doug joined the Reds in 1975. But playing behind Joe Morgan and Dave Concepcion, Doug wasn't going to see a lot of action. But he jokes about his good timing. Playing for the Reds in 1975 and 76, 2 years the Reds did pretty well, as you might recall. As Doug says, the Big Red Machine didn't win any World Series before he got there, and they didn't win any after he left, so he's taking all the credit. Well, Doug has also taken the lead in running the Reds fantasy camp over the years, which has raised thousands of dollars for charity and the Reds Hall of Fame, and that's no joke. We'll certainly give him all the credit for that. Happy birthday, Doug Flynn, this April 18th, this date in Reds Baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. It's a great day for baseball in Ohio. Let's start off with the Ohio State baseball team. The Buckeyes in East Lansing starting a series with Sparty. First pitch over on ESPN Columbus is at 3:30. Matt Andrews has it all for you beginning at 3:20. The Cleveland Guardians are in Pittsburgh facing the Pirates at 6:40. Luis Ortiz makes the start for Cleveland. The Cincinnati Reds welcome the Baltimore Orioles to Great American Ballpark at 7:05. Andrew Abbott versus Cade Povich, the pitching matchup. Hear it in its entirety on the Fan's HD3. We will join it in progress here on the Fan at 8 after the Buckeye Show. And at Huntington Park this evening, the Columbus Clippers host the Louisville Bats. First pitch is at 6:15. This one's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, back at it. Final hour of the show. Jensen Lewis, bottom of the hour, 2:30. A little chin music. We'll talk about the guards. Game and a half back. Reds 2 back. And we'll get his take on many things baseball-wise.
By the way, Adam, make sure you're thinking of Two Truths and a Lie.
Oh, yes.
Good call. Good call.
So we'll play this now that you're in here. I don't know how to play this game. I always call it 2 lies and a truth.
You don't know how to play True Truths?
No, I play Truth or Dare, the real game. You guys are playing this watered-down version of 8 truths, 3 lies, and a stretched truth.
Is this a stylus?
Yeah, but Truth or Dare was always a bad game because everyone just picks truth because they don't want to get Dare to do anything.
You're hanging out with the wrong people.
That's what I was just going to say.
I mean, I had a group of friends where
you picked Dare.
Yeah.
I don't want you to know deep personal things about me.
Yeah.
You always pick Dare.
That's right. I excel in 2 things, eating pizza and stretching the truth. And this man's going to play your game. And how many lies is it?
It's 2 truths and a lie, not 3 truths and 0 lies.
You know what I did when I played it?
You just do 3 lies?
5 truths and then 1 lie.
Ooh. So it's just you kind of flexing on your life.
That's right. Well, no, I mean he put it as like, I want to find out a little more about you and whatever. Like, who's interested in that?
That's true. You gotta make them fun.
Did anybody know that I feel like the biggest lock in college football is game day being here in week 1 and Lee Corso bookending his career with Brutus Buckeye, with Herbie by his side? It's too good to be true. It's got to happen.
Yes, and funny enough, it's a guy named Kirk.
Really?
Hey,
yeah.
Herbie, you're not allowed to win tickets. You can go by yourself.
Not that one.
Oh, sorry.
But another Kirk.
Okay. Well done, Kirk. Thank you for listening closely. You listened even more than our own producer. So well done. You win producer for a day, which would be fun, actually. Maybe we should do that.
Oh, that'd be a fun giveaway.
All right. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, you could have Cole's job.
Cole was kind of banished to this show.
Ooh.
I think it was almost like they want to see if they could force him to quit. And I'll tell you, he's hung in there like grim death, and I've admired him for it. He's handled this well.
I'm having fun.
Okay, so you're not sick of it in 2 weeks yet?
No.
Okay. All right.
What's on TV?
Let's talk about Aaron Charles Rodgers.
His middle name's Charles?
Probably. Why don't you worked on this for about an hour this morning. And
I got so much Aaron Rodgers stuff, I don't even know where to start.
What's that?
His middle name is Charles.
Oh, that's awesome. I must have heard it somewhere.
Okay, all right.
No, I heard it. I could have made that up.
All right.
So you put these in order, baby Chet, and since you're the Steeler, you set this up. What did you find the most intriguing about what he said? Yesterday, for me, it was the money narrative. That basically, now he didn't say he'd play for free.
Yeah,
but
I didn't clip that one up, but basically he said, well, no, because it was brief. We can just say it. He said, I'll play for 10 M's, as he called it. He was being cool. He didn't call
because he thought there was a narrative out there that somehow he's going to demand 40 or 50 million.
He's like, I'll play for 10 M's.
By the way, where was that narrative? Because I never heard it. Every time Maddie asked me, what do you think he's going to make? What do you think he's going to make? I said, 25. I said, tops 35. So that's why I thought it was news when he said, money's not an object. I'll play for 10. All right.
We have some good stuff here. For example, here's him claiming he isn't holding anybody hostage.
I wasn't stringing anybody along. I wasn't holding anybody hostage. I was honest from the jump about where I was at mentally and some of the constraints that I have. So, yeah, I'm open to anything and attached to nothing. So yeah, retirement still could be a possibility. But right now, my focus has been and will continue to be on my personal life. And that's what I've told the coaches. There's still conversations that are being had. And so it's all been very honest.
Okay. There's no reason to call him out on that. You sound still indecisive. That's what I get out of that. That you've told him that you're not all the way in. You'd still be willing to consider things. I'm kind of maybe here if you need me. That's why this is so ticked off guys like Cam Hayward. Like, this guy doesn't sound like he wants to play. Now, it's okay if he's got personal life stuff going. That's perfectly fine. Make that your priority and say that. But this 1 foot in, 1 foot out, that's the reason he's getting called out, is because he hasn't leaned into, guys, I'm probably not going to play this year. I've got things, or I'll see how things unfold. Don't count on it. Like, he's just stringing this along and I get it, because he may not want to retire. That's the biggest move he could do is hang him up.
Can I ask a question? What are we doing
with him?
Yeah, what are we doing? Why are we pretending like Aaron Rodgers at the ripe age of 45 is somebody
45
was somebody
check down a few.
Like, he's not what he used to be. Why are we holding franchises hostage? Why is that even a discussion? He is not that great anymore. He was an elite quarterback. No. There's no doubt about it.
Okay, so there's two things. One, that's why I said the money's important, because he's not a $45, $50 million quarterback. But you can't tell me he's not a $10 million quarterback in this league? You can't tell me teams wouldn't be intrigued to have him on their team at $10 million?
I think the name is more than the skill level at this point. I think if you took everybody's jerseys off.
Compared to the money. The money. He's not a $10 million quarterback in this league?
Yes, but is that going to win you? Is Aaron Rodgers on your team going to push you over the top to win a Super Bowl, to make the playoffs, to have a winning season? Whatever your objective is he going to do that for you?
He may not, but he could get you in the tournament, perhaps. He could give you a fighting chance. If he's better than what we got and he only wants to get paid $10 million, then why wouldn't I take him? I'm not comparing him to his 4-time NFL MVP resume. I'm comparing him to what I have.
I don't know that Aaron Rodgers is a top 15 quarterback in the NFL.
Who's your quarterback right now in Pittsburgh?
Mason Rudolph.
Okay, so now I'm asking you a question. You don't think he's better than Mason Rudolph?
I do think he's better than Mason Rudolph.
And at $10 million, even if he was even with Mason Rudolph, now he's not $40 million worth. That's what I'm telling Adam, is that I'm with him on that he's not worth that anymore. And a lot of guys are making a lot more money than they should. But if he's true, if he's really being honest, I'll play for $10 million. That's what's intriguing to me about him now.
Yeah, no, look, for sure. And it's up to us as me and my Steelers fan brethren to be disciplined about it, because we just saw what the Jets fans did the past couple of years, getting way out of control with their expectations about Aaron Rodgers. I'm with Adam here. My expectations are in a fair spot.
I don't understand, as a Steelers fan, why you wouldn't want to take a shot on a rookie in this draft and say, you know what, let's play him until it doesn't work out. Because I think the ceiling there, I mean, I'm going to read you Aaron Rodgers' stats for the last
I'll give you the answer because we're picking 21st and not first.
I think you can get a guy at 21st.
A leftover.
But I don't. Will Howard is Jackson Dart. These guys aren't
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. I would be intrigued by it. I would be open-minded. But there is a difference, especially in a weak quarterback class. In any quarterback class, drafting a quarterback at 21 may be a bad idea. But specifically in this one, I'm just saying, look, I'm open-minded about it. If we took Will Howard, I would be very open-minded about it. But I'm just saying, we don't have many good options here, if any.
I'm just tired of the idea of let's get to the next offseason. I feel like we've had this conversation for the last 5 years with Aaron Rodgers. And everywhere he's gone, it hasn't panned out. And it feels like we always look back on that team and go, boy, they really let Aaron Rodgers down. I'm tired of the conversation.
I understand the fatigue.
I'm just
there is Rodgers fatigue for a lot of people. I think there is a little bit of intrigue in that if he's going to play for cheap and I give him a little bit more distance from the rehab, from the injury, and him wanting to go out the right way and write his own ending a lot better than it's been, I think he'd be motivated to do that. You also give him DK Metcalf and Pickens and maybe strengthen the O-line. Like, you give him a little something there, lean into the run game a little bit. I think that you probably have something better than you have. What Adam's saying here, I get it, which is, well, what's the ceiling here? What does it matter? It probably doesn't. And then you're also welcoming in this guy that the narrative around him is that it's all about him all the time. And a lot of teams don't want to deal with that. So I think he basically said, I'm kind of the personal life stuff too. He sounds like he's got a lot of stuff going there. Like, I don't think the Steelers are counting on him. I don't. He's probably, I'm not saying he's stringing him along either. He says he's been honest with him.
Then we have another soundbite, and we can tease this, but he had another soundbite that's kind of making me a little bit convinced of your theory that he may be waiting till after the draft.
Yeah. All right. Well, you'll hear that next. And then I also wanted to tell you that when we come back, Deion Sanders' response to his son's jersey being retired is extremely puzzling. You'll hear that as well. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon, even if this promo is playing in the morning. No judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same-game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Hey, it's Anthony. Of course, I sit and do the show 3 hours a day. But after that, I'm looking to get things done and enjoy the spring weather. So I want to be on my feet a lot, playing golf, working out, just moving around. I was introduced to the Good Feet store because my feet were aching way too often. And what I found there is a 3-step custom arch support system that has me feeling awesome. My personally fit arch supports have helped realign my feet, reposition my body into a more ideal position, and not only that, strengthen my feet to help support me. It's made all the difference in how I feel every day. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And when you wear them as a system, their arch supports are more effective at long-term pain reduction and elimination. So go in, take the free test walk. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Their products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or at goodfeet.com.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's going to audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring is here and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get your mulch ready for the season. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Whether it's mulch, soil, or even stone, we've got your yard covered. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your garden with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at a great afternoon, so make sure you get out and enjoy it. We'll be in the low 80s, but a little bit windy, so keep that in mind. More sunshine as well. We'll see temperatures tonight, mid-60s, pretty dry through the overnight until we get to early Saturday. That's when showers and storms return. A few could be strong, mid-70s. Lingering rain Easter, but there will be dry time as well. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Free Snap Leads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, a little Bet365 time. And Bet365, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. They've got all sorts of Guardians boosts, super boosts, all the day of the game. And new customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5, win or lose. Download that app. Get after it. We love Bet365. I don't have anything major tonight since I'm swimming in cash from my Blue Jackets pick yesterday and laying the goal and a half. I should have laid more. Karis LeVert, over 12.5 points tonight. I feel like the local product is going to do something good for us. Anything you have your eye on? Oh, your long-term future on Will Howard winning a Super Bowl as a starter.
Yes, I think you can get it
pay off for 15 years.
Plus $10 billion right now on DraftKings, and it'll pay off for you. Yeah, on Bet365. Whoops. I'm going to get in trouble.
I'm glad he did that before I did.
Another guy not listening to the show that he's on. It happens.
Wow, thank you. So the day that I do that, I'm glad I wasn't the first. It's coming.
Just remember, Adam, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
I do love Bet365.
3, 2, and 1.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, so let's hear the quick one on Aaron Rodgers here, the one that intrigued you.
Yeah, so here's him talking about who his contenders were in free agency, and if you believe in airtime, we might get a clue.
It was a few teams. I will say I did talk to Brian Daboll and had great conversation with him. Really enjoyed him a lot. There were some other teams that I talked to, like I already mentioned. KOC is a buddy of mine, and we talked during the season. So it was a cool experience. Obviously, I went out to Pittsburgh, but yeah, I mean, listen, I've talked to Mike Tomlin. He's more than I even thought from afar, as far as the type of person that he is. I have a lot of respect for what he's accomplished in the league. Arthur Smith, you guys have had Art on the show many times, but he's a grinder. We've had a friendship for a couple of years now, and the quarterback coach is actually a guy named Tom Arth. Tom Arth was in the quarterback room with me in 2006 in Green Bay in the offseason. But I've enjoyed talking to Mike.
All right, so there you go. It's Steelers or retirement. It feels like that, and that's fine. I'm with him on. I don't think he's stringing him along. I think he's got stuff going on. I think he wants to get through the draft. He wants to see what they do in the draft. I think that's his right. He can also wait it out a little bit, get some stuff going in his personal life. They can find out on the Steelers side, hey, we're going to go on without you. We'll see how our draft plays out because we're drafting for our future anyway. It has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers, and because they want to get the right quarterback anyway because Rodgers is probably 1 year and done. So I think that's where it is. I don't have any real feel on whether he just wants to wait it out and see how the team does or injuries or what have you. Maybe some other things crop up for them. But to me, it's Steelers or retirement. And I'm probably going to bet on Steelers because I think if he was leaning heavily into retirement, I don't think he'd even be talking like this. He probably wouldn't even do an interview right now. But that's where I am with it.
I think you're probably in the right boat. I also think the Steelers are probably the highest end team that he could get and actually think that he could win.
What about the Vikes?
I don't know. How do you punt on J.J. McCarthy that quickly?
I'm talking about from his point of view. You said that's from his point of view, the highest team he could get was Pittsburgh.
I don't think that the Vikings would want to bring him in to.
I don't know. Great coach, loves the coach.
Yes, but
fortified the O-line, has playmakers.
Then what? 1 year after taking McCarthy, you're saying we still don't think you're ready?
I'm looking at it from Aaron's point of view. I thought that's the way you were looking at it, through his eyes. Which team, if I could handpick where I'd go?
I'm sorry. Well, let me say it in both ways. I think of a team that would actually take the chance and a team that could actually make a run. I think he probably thinks that is the best meeting point when it comes to the Steelers.
All right. We'll see. Saga continues. All right. So Deion Sanders was trying to explain why his son got his jersey retired after finishing 8th in the Heisman and being 13-12 as a quarterback. And he went down the path of, and this is how I'm going to read this even before you play it, is that he believes that Deion, his son, and Travis Hunter turned this program around, and the reward for that is legacy immortality. And it's just puzzling to me.
Retired jerseys can be a sore subject.
Not really. This is the first time I've ever seen it sore. I don't know if you know it, but I'm retired, man. I think every jersey during that I played in is retired. So I'm pretty familiar with this. So it's never been sore.
But why do you think that? What was your message like? Maybe Buff Nation and Buff alums who are.
I don't have a message. I'm praying for my AD. I love him to life. Let's get the elephant out the room. I don't want to talk about this too long. I'm gonna just talk briefly and let it go. We're talking about Shador. We ain't talking about nobody else. But his last name wasn't Sanders. We wouldn't have this discussion. The only reason we were having this discussion is his last name is Sanders. Okay, that's it. It's been so many things accomplished at this university expeditiously. It's been unbelievable. And I think we should be appreciative. We should be thankful. We have a room full of wonderful people that covers us. And I don't know if you all were in this room 2-3 years ago. Very few. Okay, but it's a new day. We're doing things a little different. I think the training table, I think the food is better. Nobody said nothing about that. It's a whole lot of things that are brighter and they're better because someone stands on business and makes it that way. And he's resilient when it comes to it being that way because everything we do is to improve everything for us. I think it was hot in here one time. I said, let's turn the darn air conditioner off at night. The next time we came in, what happened? I think about those details because it don't just benefit me. It benefits what? All of us.
Guy wants a statue for winning 9 games. And I'm not telling you that he hasn't pulled a rabbit out of the hat and gotten players. And because of his notoriety and his energy and his confidence has certainly transcended the program from what they had before. But you don't retire a jersey because a kid was a part of a turnaround. It reeks of selfishness. And the other thing about it is, Adam, if you really want to get rid of the elephant in the room, then say what it is. He said the only reason we're talking about it is because the kid's last name is Sanders. No, we're talking about it because we think his jersey got retired because his name is Sanders. From a statistical standpoint, and I'm not trying to rip Shador here. He was very good on a bad team. But give him the accolades. Jersey retirement stuff, that's icon. And what he's trying to say is since he was a part of this drastic turnaround from 1 win now to 9 or 1 to 4 to 9, that all of a sudden, it's very puzzling that he would lean into that part of it. Travis Heisman, of course. You want to do that all day long. He thinks, and he should love his son like this, but it reeks of special treatment versus anything that was truly earned to that level.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And to pin it on the last name, it wouldn't matter who the last name is. I'm looking right here. Famous numbers that haven't been retired. Oregon hasn't retired Marcus Mariota's number. He won the Heisman. You look at Cam Newton at Auburn, not retired. Michael Jordan's number wasn't even retired at North Carolina. If
his last name wasn't Sanders, he wouldn't be getting it retired. That's the point.
You can't, in an argument for why someone should have to retire their number, say the food is better. If you list, the numbers that have been retired in Ohio State history, the accolades that go with those are unmatched. I think it's disrespectful to players that have come before him. Because you say that guy's getting retired. They lost 3 games last year. Yes, they overachieved, but they lost
maybe more.
They lost 4 games to count the bowl game. The year before that, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. We're retiring guys' numbers that had a losing season 2 years ago that didn't finish in the top 3 of the high.
He's actually done him more of a disservice by doing this than not doing it. Because maybe through no fault of his own, Shador is now going to be looked at as overhyped, over-rewarded. This is a reward that's reserved for a very few level of athlete. And that's the odd part. And I'm not saying that Deion doesn't feel like that his son played a massive part in this. It really has set him up to be viewed as arrogant and selfish versus what he did, which was really have a great year.
You said it earlier. He was a great player. You don't get your number retired for being a great player. You get your number retired for the fact that no one should ever be able to wear that number again because what you did in that number will forever be cemented by a program.
And I'm not saying he did nothing. Right. You start looking at what he did there, and there are some pretty good stats. It's an odd choice. And once you go down the road of everything's better here because of me, it's a weird road. Now, that fits Deion's narrative. It's cooler in this room. Isn't everybody happy? I did that. The food's better. I did that. The vending machine. I pay attention to that stuff. Basically, what he's saying is, Colonel Jessup, you should probably just all say thank you and be on your way. That's kind of where it is.
It takes a tradition in sports, and it just... I mean, now what happens to the next guy that gets his number retired? He wins a national title, he does all this at Colorado, and he's next to Shedeur Sanders, who's a great player. But is he legendary? I mean, I'm looking at a picture. His name is forever etched in the stadium.
Well, and if they are part of this big turnaround and Deion stays there forever, then it'll mean something. But once it's there, it's probably not coming down. So
your name's etched in the building outside. Did you see that? Right over when you walk
dumpster.
In. Rothman land, that's what they call it.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I haven't decided to park yet underneath the tape, where they have the no parking. Yeah, I'm not at that level yet. We come back with our friend Jensen Lewis, toss some chin music, and I want to get his feeling because there was a scary moment in baseball this week. What was the scariest moment for him? Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Let's go to the floor with some late-breaking developments on the markets, Jim.
Up things are down, down things are up.
Sounds like things
You don't understand. Right is left, lemons are sweet, spaghetti is cold, the milk is warm.
Okay, but are you seeing anything that maybe smart-minded money people should know about?
Yeah. Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Probably one of the most stable things you can do is an Apex Pros air conditioner tune-up.
Air conditioner tune-ups, you say?
Oh, yeah. Apex Pros knows most expensive summer breakdowns can be prevented by getting a tune-up now.
Yes, it's known that a tuned-up AC lowers energy bills, which is important to...
Oh, this is unbelievable.
What, big sell-off? Huge increase?
No, I spilled coffee on my new shirt. Anyway, tune-up save on energy bills, plus make your air conditioner last years longer.
Good to know Apex Pros keeps things stable and predictable.
That's on my pants, too. This is the worst day. This is historic. You know that.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Crowd the plate at your own risk. It's time for some chin music with former big leaguer and president of the Bald is Beautiful fan club, Jensen Lewis.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, he's the man, the one and only Jensen Lewis, our guy, VSiN Sports, and a lot more. And he's with us now on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. My friend, how you been?
Doing well, boys. On our way to Pittsburgh to take in Game 1 of this Guardians and Pirates series. We figured the best day of the year so far. Might as well just go out and see one of the great, beautiful ballparks in the country. So a little day trip, and we'll see how the boys do.
Good for you, my man. All right, we'll break that down in a minute. I do want to get your opinion. When Hunter Wendelstedt was hit with that line drive, and I started thinking to myself, why aren't these guys wearing helmets? Will this be what sparks this? Because we've seen, umpires we've seen coaches on the first base and third base line wearing helmets. He wasn't. I know it's a freak thing, and I don't want to overreact, but this was pretty scary. So give me your take on that first. And you being a former big league pitcher, how many scary moments did you have on comebackers and such?
Yeah, first and foremost, right, we both kind of lived through that the era of where we saw the base coaches go from those caps to the hard hats, if you will, kind of the shell that catchers use on the two-part mask there. So anxious to see if umpires just kind of take it amongst themselves and say, you know what, let's err on the side of caution, and we'll go ahead and make sure that if something freak like this were to happen again, then we're as protected as we can be. As far as me, buddy, I had a couple of comebackers. Unfortunately, both of them were real hot shots on the ground. And I think I told you the story. I was the idiot who tried to field the one-hopper barehanded, and then Carl Willis had to come out and give me a little time because my hand was ringing like I stuck it in a beehive. So, one of those things where, fortunately, I didn't have too many close calls. I have been there, when you do have guys that, there's no reaction time whatsoever. It's part of the game. Unfortunately, there's really not much you can do. So, fortunately, most crises have been averted thus far, and you just hope it continues.
This seems like a get-right series for the guards. I know you're coming out of Baltimore, giving up a lot of runs. I didn't like Bybee. Obviously, nobody did the other day with the 3 home runs versus the O's. The ERA is almost up near 6. How much of this is opponent-driven for you, and how much concern should I have as a fan and a Bybee manager?
Yeah, I think, honestly, AR, this is maybe par for the course for Bybee, right? It feels like he's that locomotive that's got to get momentum out of the station. It takes a little time. And then once he hits his stride, it feels like he just really is a one-man wrecking crew. And so just knowing you're about 3 weeks into the season, it's hard to really go against him and think that there's something amiss there. So if we get to the middle of May, we have this conversation a little bit after Derby Day, and things are still kind of inconsistent, then probably pause for concern.
I got to ask you here, you're getting ready to see Paul Skeens in person. What is it like? What if you can think of someone that matches his hype this early in his career? I look back, who's somebody that jumps out to you?
Yeah, easily Steven Strasburg, and I was there for in the bullpen for his first road start. I think I've told AR the story about it, where they were selling Strasburg jerseys outside the stadium. And I know we were all driving in like, what in the hell is going on here? I've never seen this in my entire life. And then he got up on the mound, threw his warm-up pitches, and those first 2 hitters in the bottom of the first, like, okay, I believe it now. I am absolutely buying into the hype here. So it's probably since then that we've had this kind of hype this early, and probably equally the amount of dominance that Paul Skeens has had as well.
Let me ask you about Hunter Green with the Reds. And when you have a pitcher like him, when you're going against a pitcher like that, do these managers send the strategy to their team? We need to run up his pitch count as much as we can. Like, when you're facing a guy like that, who's so on it, is that the strategy, that they try to have more discipline and run pitch counts against guys like that?
I think, honestly, AR, as a more new school approach has been to try and get guys early and try and not let them get the 2 strikes, because then you feel like, especially the way the off speed is thus far for Hunter Green, it's nearly impossible to kind of put the ball in play. And so you see more of the scouting reports of let's try and be action early within those first couple of pitches. Usually that's a fastball in there somewhere, but sometimes you just got to tip your cap. And the way Hunter Green's going, we talked about it before the season, is a guy, AR, that you and I both like for the Cy Young and potentially for the most strikeouts in Major League Baseball. As good a start as you could have hoped. And even you go back to the Instagram post that he had, he made it as one of his goals, right? Was he wanted to be the National League Cy Young winner. And so I appreciate the motivation, but more importantly, I think the execution and the consistency of the execution is what is the most impressive part thus far.
When you think about Lodolo, and when you try to analyze finesse pitchers against power pitchers, and I know you're more of a closer, but who do you like better there? Like, if you had to choose, I'd rather be a power pitcher or finesse pitcher and have more in my repertoire. How do you analyze that?
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to have 103 in the back pocket like Mason Miller does, but I think it's the amount of movement. And I grew up idolizing Greg Maddux, a guy that he could, if he wanted to, run it up into the mid-90s, but he knew he was really most effective at being able to have the movement at 86 to 88. And so the ability to locate and the ability to force hitters to have to cover both sides of the plate is still the most challenging thing to do, regardless of velocity. So I think what makes you bring up Lodolo, that's a really uncomfortable at bat for left-handed hitters, just from the arm slot, from the physical presence, and from the late life. I mean, you can tell way more about how uncomfortable a hitter is by the swing and miss or how in between they are when they take pitches than a radar gun will ever tell you.
All right, so the Reds started 2-6. It's not like they're hitting for average. The OPS is not good. But Tito, they put up 18 against the M's. Austin Hayes going back to Camden. Is there a bet in there that you like?
Yeah, I was just going to say the total right there is probably what jumps out, right? And a little homecoming of sorts. When they've had the bases loaded, it feels like the Reds have been nearly automatic. And you saw Fraley to go ahead grand slam. You thought it was going to be enough yesterday, and then Rosarena and Raleigh with the 2 home runs to tie it against Pagan. So, yeah, I think now just kind of watching the Guardians come out of there, and it's really one of the better series that has been pitched all around, but still there was enough offense there getting you 7-8 runs a night. I absolutely would look to the total. We'll look at some total bases, too, if you're wanting to jump on some left-handed hitters. Of course, Ellie's an easy one to get in there. But, thinking about where the potential matchups will be from a starting pitching standpoint, would definitely look at the total base market as well.
A quick one here. Are you, as a former pitcher, do you feel like that the romance of arguing balls and strikes has been taken away from this game, and that's a good thing? Or do you think we should still have a little bit of what I would call the Lou Piniella rule and just always have a little bit of that in there? I thought they let Jazz Chisholm go as far as he was going to go. It wasn't a quick hook, but then I heard that after he got tossed, that the reason he deleted his tweet is because when he got tossed, he was using his phone during the game, and that's a no-no. So where did you stand on that one?
Yeah, I think, AR, we're going to eventually get this year a point where a guy gets tossed when he taps the top of his helmet, because that's what they did in spring training when they were looking to challenge balls and strikes. So I give Jazz credit. That's kind of been his personality. But I got to imagine that in this day and age now, especially once we get ABS installed, there's probably not going to be a lot of room for the arguing back and forth.
All right, my man. Safe travels as always, my friend. Great insight. You are the man. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good weekend.
You bet, guys. Talk to you next week.
You got it. Jensen Lewis with us. Chin Music here on a Friday on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, we come back. He's been working on it all segment. His 8 half-truths and a lie or whatever we're going to play next. And
I'm ready.
See if we can detect.
I've got 45 lies and 1 truth.
He said he's going to put the hood up and the sunglasses on, World Series of Poker, this thing, and we'll see if we can all tell what he is saying is a lie or a truth. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like early pay. You could get paid up to 2 days faster and there's no cost. So stop playing the waiting game. Make the switch today at huntington.com/yourmoney. Direct deposit and eligibility requirements apply.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Spring forward, Columbus, with the Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling Services. We're here to thaw you out with this limited time offer. Get up to $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system. This offer is too good to pass up. The Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling now together to serve you better with $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system. This offer won't last. Call us today, 614-232-2222. That's 614-232-2222. Ever thought about teeing off in Ohio Stadium? Now's your chance with Upper Deck Golf. Play around in the Shoe, April 24th through 26th. Bring your friends and hit shots from the upper deck onto custom greens on the iconic field below. You'll start and end your round at the stadium clubhouse with great music, cold beverages, food, and interactive golfing challenges. Make it a VIP experience with additional perks, including free entry into driving, chipping, and putting challenges. Tee times will go fast. Register now at upperdeckgolfing.com to book a tee time. That's upperdeckgolfing.com.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
I've been able to resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He'd heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to LifeSearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit LifeSearch.com today.
All your favorite Fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. For all your window needs, visit windownation.com.
All right, just a reminder, the Rothman and Ice podcast, if you miss anything, get on it. It's brought to you by Bet365. And anything you miss from the show, like Boone Jenner at 1 o'clock, nice little exit interview with us. He didn't know he had to do 2 exit interviews. One with the big club and one with us. And now I'm sitting over here next to Adam Moneymaker, or Penny Pincher, whatever they call you.
They call me the king.
That sits on a porcelain throne.
I don't know about all that.
So you took my coaching to heart. You went sunglasses and hoodie.
All right,
so
I want to win this thing.
Yeah, that's right. You do want to win.
Life's about winning. If there's a winner and a loser, I want to win.
All right, so this game is one that I wasn't as familiar with because I played the real game, Truth or Dare. This one is just 2 truths and a lie. I think I finally said it correctly.
I think that's right.
Because what Baby Chet tells me is that it's harder to make up a lie about yourself than a truth. He's probably right. So, with that being said, I want you to speak clearly. I want you to articulate, be specific, give us some details, and fire off 3, and we will determine which one is the lie.
Number 1. I went to school with 5 professional athletes.
Wow. High school?
Number 2,
High school or college?
High school.
Okay.
Number 2, I have flown an airplane. And number 3, I have covered a golf major, a Super Bowl, a college football national championship, a Stanley Cup final, and an NBA finals at the ripe age of my age.
Okay.
You want to go in order here?
What was the second one again?
He flew a plane.
Flew a plane. With an instructor.
Am I allowed to answer?
No.
Like you were just up there by yourself.
Well, this is for me and AR.
I'm just asking, do you think this was a solo flight or you had an instructor? And then they let you have the controls.
He said that he flew a plane. I'm not going to make him give a bunch of details because then we're going to ruin the game. This has to be us.
Okay.
But
I'll say this.
Oh,
there was an instructor.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's believable enough. The professional athlete.
Because if he said no instructor was me, it's an instant lie.
Yeah. There's no way that he was up there completely by himself.
There's no way he may have been, but he wouldn't be here right now.
Maybe.
Fair.
Pro athletes can mean a lot.
So I hope he isn't doing this stupid thing of he actually went to school with 3 of them and not 5, because that would be stupid.
Wouldn't do that.
And
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's probably true.
And cheapskates who play this game, that's the move that they do.
Yeah, you can't play that way.
I can name one of them was Jonathan Cooper.
Could be.
One
of my good friends. One of my good friends, Jonathan Cooper.
Did Nick Ward ever play in the NBA?
Head coach?
The Tampa Bay Lightning head coach.
Did Nick Ward ever make it to the NBA out of Michigan State?
I mean, I don't know if 5 came out of Gahanna Lincoln. It's going to be hard for me to.
But did they all come out while I was in school?
And then eventually.
And keep in mind,
oh, that's right. You actually were. They were in your graduating class?
Not in my graduating. I was in school.
There's like a 7-year. No, there's like a 7-year range because when he's a freshman, that counts everybody above him, and when he's a senior, that counts everybody below.
Oh, the 3-degree guarantee.
Exactly.
And who says I went to high school in 4 years?
I'm gonna say
might have been 8.
Could have been 9.
Okay. Do you believe him on all the coverage though? Stanley Cup Finals, NBA Finals.
There's one in there. Well, why wouldn't he have covered the Cavs? Was he in the business when?
No,
was he not around then?
2016, he would have been in Missouri.
Yeah, who would he have been covering then?
Cape Girardeau, the Grizzlies, maybe.
NBA Finals. I don't know where he was. He's in Missouri before here?
Yeah, he was in Cape Girardeau.
He was in your worst nightmares.
How long have you been here?
I got here in 2021.
Got here in 2021.
Actually, he may have been in college in 2016.
So that means he wasn't around at all when.
Do you think student reporter, perhaps?
Covering what?
Championships? Would they put? Would they be giving out credentials to students?
2016?
Chat. What do you think is the lie here?
He's talking to the chat again.
Mm-hmm. It fires up, Rob.
Oh, I thought you said chat.
Oh, chat. What do you think is the lie?
Oh,
I said chat.
I think that I think the 5 is probably correct.
Yeah.
I think somewhere along the line, I don't think he played because we know it's at least 1, so he wouldn't play that game 5. If he did, then he's playing it wrong. So we're going to say that's true. I'm going to say that going up in a plane with an instructor, I have no idea whether he's afraid of heights or that, whether that's a big deal to him. I've never heard him talk about that, but I'm with you on that he listed all those.
They were all championships.
Let me ask you this. What major would he have covered in golf? What major? Like, why would he go cover a major?
Did they ever come through here?
No.
U.S. Open?
Unless he's talking about a senior open.
No.
And I hope you're not. Okay.
No senior.
I'm saying I think the final one is the lie because I can't put together the context in which he would have been at the Stanley Cup and
a golf major covering it. There's a difference between going and covering.
He said covering. So I believe the Super Bowl. I believe the football
So we're
stuff.
actually in lockstep. We're going to say you have been up in a plane with an instructor. You did go to high school with 5 future pros. And that while you have covered big events, national titles, Super Bowls, because I've been with you at them, I don't think your whole list is accurate. So we're going to say that's the lie.
I did go to high school with 5 professional athletes.
We got that right.
I have covered a golf major.
Okay.
Bell Reef, the PGA Championship in 2018.
But what about the NBA and Stanley Cup Finals?
The Blues went to the Stanley Cup Finals when I was in.
Oh, no. So you've never
I should have gotten that.
So it's the plane?
I didn't cover the NBA Finals when the
nailed it.
Cavs
Oh,
went.
we got it.
That was well done. I flew a plane upside down, actually.
Inverted?
Inverted. It was crazy. They let me. I thought the guy was messing with me.
Was Tom Cruise there?
I thought I heard you say that before back in the offices at some point in time. That sounded familiar. Who were the five? Jonathan Cooper and who else?
Jonathan Cooper, Evan White, Will Trapp. There were two others. I just pulled them up. Now I can't.
I went there, but I don't remember.
I just pulled them up, and
Were
then
you on the Wikipedia page for your high school just counting?
No, I couldn't remember this one guy's name. Oh, Cameron Cheeseman. And Jon Snow.
And I am looking at a half-empty bottle of Cavassier, which means that we are just about out of time.
We really are.
That was great.
Was he a long snapper?
But we got you.
I thought it was a good lie, too.
It was good. I couldn't figure the major, but that was good.
Yeah.
All right, guess what? This was just a little warm-up, and now you have to go to work.
Now I get to go spend the whole day, 11 o'clock tonight, 10 TV, tune in, also 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 6 o'clock.
Thank you all for enduring the last 3 hours. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you on Monday at high noon. Common Man and T-Bone up next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Montana, Bettis, Horning, and Brown, some of the greatest of all time, kicked off their careers in South Bend. You can celebrate Notre Dame football's impact on the professional game by visiting the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton to experience Gold Helmet to Gold Jacket now through April 27th. And register to win our grand prize at 971thefan.com/Gold Jacket. One winner will receive 2 tickets to the Hall of Fame game enshrinement ceremony presented by Novartis and the Hall of Fame Museum. That's 971thefan.com/Gold Jacket.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Can I get Mega Millions?
Good choice. Mega Millions is bigger than ever. Jackpots now start at $50 million and grow faster.
Sounds mega.
And now, every game has a built-in multiplier, so all non-jackpot prizes are multiplied between 2 and 10 times.
Bigger prizes, better odds, and just $5? Give me 2.
Mega Millions is bigger and better than ever. Get your tickets today at your local Ohio lottery retailer. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's gonna audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
And the top overall pick in this year's draft is the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. That's right, it's number one in my heart. This is Scotty Vegas, and we're hosting a special draft show and watch party starting at 7 p.m. Thursday, April 24th for the first round of the draft. Watch and place wagers on the picks with over 30 kiosks, contests, prizes, and a live show at 7 at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get your mulch as easy as ever. Save $50 on home delivery now through Sunday. All you got to do is visit ohiomulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.